Glad to have you with us on the Deuce.
You ready to go?
Let's do it. It's time to drop the hammer for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Here comes the safe. Every side by side.
3-1 for Willie.
He muscles him up and out of the groove.
Throws it in on the outside.
They just avoided disaster there.
Contact.
Rooting down in there. And it all breaks out.
That's a big one. That's how big it
A
is.
huge incident.
They need to get back on the track.
We've got 4 cars side by side all battling out. It's now a 4-horse race.
Door handle to door handle drama. 3 wide as they come to the white flag.
It is absolutely dead level at the front of the field.
An unbelievable finish.
Absolutely stood up in the seat and was counted for there.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, names are made here. It is an irresistible, chilly Saturday night in Martinsville, Virginia, just across the North Carolina-Virginia state line. Yes, fall has indeed fallen over this area of the country. Tonight, temperatures will get down into the 40s, but the atmosphere and the intensity will certainly be heated up by the time this race is up. As 250 laps in Martinsville stands in the way of 2 drivers from finishing out the Championship 4 roster for next weekend NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race. And hello one and all, I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Martinsville. Thanks for having us in the race. JT and Al's coming up in just a moment. This is going to be a fun night, and it's going to be an intense night. No doubt about that. It's the last race to make the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 4, and it happens at one of the biggest action tracks on the sport, the half-mile paperclip of Martinsville. Let's get our night started with opening ceremonies.
Please rise as you're able and remove your hats as veterans render a hand salute as the George Washington High School Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation from First Baptist Church in East Martinsville, Senior Pastor Charles Whitfield.
Good evening. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we bless you for this crisp fall day and for the privilege of gathering here in Martinsville. From across the nation and world, our attention is fixed on this moment, and while we have come for socialization and for sports, speed, and spectacular sound of racing, we need your spirit, your safety, and your strength. Cover us, give every driver wisdom and insight, and allow us to enjoy fun-filled, family-friendly, a friendly weekend in your name. We give you thanks. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Virginia Tech's a cappella group, Naturally Sharp.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose by stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
National anthem complete then here in Martinsville, and we are getting ready in a couple of moments, and let's return to Matthew Owens.
Yeah, should probably hit the unmute button to be heard by the world. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, will be a fun but intense evening here in Martinsville, Virginia. The long and arduous road to get to this point of the season with one race remaining to make the championship race. This round of the Xfinity Series playoffs started 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas, a thrilling race that ended with Eric Almirola holding off Connor Zilisch for the win. Then at Talladega last week in a race marred by multiple hard, grinding crashes, won by another non-playoff driver, well, sort of, by Austin Hill. More on the sort of part of that statement in just a moment. What that has done to the playoff picture, though, it has clinched 2 championship 4 spots. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into this round of 8 elimination race. Based on points, Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier have already advanced to the championship 4 no matter what happens here tonight. Jesse Love is third in the playoff standing, 40 points above the top line, while Carson Quaffle, a rookie driver for Junior Motorsports that will not be full-time in this series next year, currently holds the final spot above the cut line by 11 points. The 4 drivers below the cut line look like this: Sammy Smith minus 11, Brandon Jones minus 20, Sam Mayer minus 21, and Sheldon Creed minus 41. A reminder that one position on the racetrack is equal to 1 point in the championship standings. And with the addition of the Xfinity fastest lap point, maximum point gain possible in one race is 60. Basically, what this all comes down to is Jesse Love is very safe at plus 40, but he can be knocked out in multiple ways. Again, a win would automatically clinch a spot for a playoff driver into the championship round. And with only 11 points between Quaffle and Smith and 31 between Quaffle and Brandon Jones, anybody just about can move below the cut line to above it on points, and anyone from 3rd and 4th, Love and Quaffle, could drop out. We'll keep you updated with the point situation all night long as the race goes on. So that's how the playoff standings look coming in. And it does seem tenuous. It does seem maybe a little bit confusing with the situation that we also have going on concurrently, which is the Owners' Championship. If you are not as familiar with NASCAR land, if you more come from the European ranks, specifically with Formula One, think of the Owners' Championship here kind of, sort of, as the Constructors' Championship in Formula One, but it is the one car that races for the Owners' Championship. Well, that has always been a little bit interesting in this Xfinity Series because there is a car throughout the season that is split between multiple drivers, just like the 19 car has been this year. Eric Almirola, Justin Bonsignor, drivers in the 19 car this year, have gotten the 19 into the Owners' Championship 4 based on Almirola's win at Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Now, Austin Hill was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, but the 21 car moved on to the Owners' Championship 4 with Hill's Talladega win last week. All of that confusion comes from Hill being suspended earlier in the season for the race at Iowa. So we have 2 spots in the Drivers' Championship 4 clinched. We have 2 spots in the Owners' Championship 4 clinched. None of them are the same, incredibly enough. So we'll try to keep you updated with that throughout the night. Obviously, our main concern will be the Drivers' Championship, and we'll divulge in all of this again next Saturday night in Phoenix and try not to confuse everybody. JT and Al with me. Al, we're excited for this. We're also on pins and needles for this because 2 years ago in this race, we saw total calamity at the finish. And then just here earlier in the spring, not even for a playoff race, we saw total calamity at the finish. Indeed we did, Matthew. I absolutely know that's what he's saying. JT, what do you say?
I wasn't sure who was supposed to speak there.
Go ahead. We can all just talk whenever we want to, right?
Well, let's talk. It's for Martinsville Xfinity. What we know about this race is everyone apart from Jeremy Clements's brains go out the window with this race. It is absolutely. And I did see that NASCAR actually did have a meeting with the drivers before the race. I'm not sure how much impact that meeting will have. Since last time we had a meeting at Martinsville after the Xfinity race, Austin Hill claimed he was a role model.
Yeah, he did. Here's the command.
Hey, drivers, start your engines!
Very good. So the command to fire up the engines given. Yes, we know all the controversy that came from, I would say, the ending of the spring race, but it really just the whole thing, which was bonkers and crazy, and we'll see what happens here tonight. JT also with us. JT, we did the Talladega race last week that had all of those heavy crashes, all of those impactful hits, and I mean hits physically and emotionally to the championship standings. Now we come to the exact opposite of Talladega, a flat half-mile paperclip. Your expectations for tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's learn a little bit about this circuit before.
Temperatures, control tire wear, and defend track position on a layout where passing is difficult. Pit strategy and smart restarts often decide the race, making patience and timing just as important as speed. Asphalt covers the straights, while the corners are a combination of asphalt in the top lane and concrete along the bottom line. Choosing the right lane can be the difference between gaining positions or losing ground. At last year's race in Martinsville, Eric Almirola led the majority of the laps and swept both stages. After 12 lead changes and 13 cautions, Almirola trailed just behind Sandy Smith and Chandler Smith. He regained the lead on a restart on lap 235, finishing the final 15 laps ahead of the pack to secure his victory at points. With his win, Almirola shoved the playoff picture into chaos. Both Smiths were knocked out of contention, and Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer advanced to the championship 4 on points. Who will get it done tonight? Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier sit comfortably at the top of the point standings and are locked into the final 4 on points. Tonight determines who will get the last 2 spots. Engines are getting ready to fire, and the green flag will wave soon. Let's head to the track.
I absolutely hate the end of that because I know they always pre-record it and they always say we are about to get engines fired, even though they always play it after they fire the engines. But yeah, expectations for tonight. Well, I don't know how to put this other than it's going to be absolute hell and absolute chaos. It's Martinsville. What do you expect?
Well, we'll see. Under the lights on a chilly night here in Martinsville, Virginia. Should be, certainly should be something that'll keep us all on our toes as the night goes on. It is a beautiful night. Rain is incoming to this part of the country in heavy portions starting next week. Thankfully, it stayed away from us this weekend. But it has been a beautiful day, beautiful fall day in this area of the country. And now it has turned into a pretty chilled night. Good crowd on hand to see this race here tonight. Truck Series elimination race in the round of 8 last night won by...
Wow.
What a shocking development that Corey Heim won that race last night. I mean,
that was a good race to call though last night.
Oh, is there breaking news?
DGM Racing have announced they will be parting ways with Ryan Ellis at the end of the season.
Well, that's great to just do that before the start of a race. That's just fantastic.
That's sad. I thought Ryan did a really good job this year.
Yeah, he has, and was in position
I think.
Before falling out with damage in one of the many crashes that we had last week. Cars rolling off of pit road to start parade and pace laps. Let's go ahead and give you the starting grid for the IAA and Ritchie Brothers 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Martinsville. Qualifying held earlier today to give us this starting lineup. Harrison Burton in his 107th career Xfinity Series start has his first career pole in the Dead-On Tools board for AM Racing, a team that he will not be returning to next year. Carson Quaffle's the highest starting playoff driver, rolls off second. Eric Almirola is in the 19 car again this week. He's in row 2, flanked by Justin Allgaier, winner of the Wild 2023 race here. Sheldon Creed, of all of those runner-up finishes in his career, 3 of them have come at Martinsville. He's in row 3 with last week's Talladega winner Austin Hill. Ryan Sieg and Brendan Queen make up an all-underdog row 4, while Christian Eckes, who was so good last week, rolls off 9th alongside Parker Retzloff of Wisconsin. Brandon Jones was on his way to winning this race a few years ago before getting dumped by his teammate Ty Gibbs unceremoniously on the last lap. He's in the 6th row tonight alongside Virginian Jeb Burton. Taylor Gray from New Mexico alongside Justin Bonsignor, who's had many laps here in modified competition. He fills in for William Sawalich in the 18 car tonight. Sawalich out with concussion-like symptoms after a crash last week. Sammy Smith, first one on the outside looking into the playoff picture, rolls off 15th with Brennan Poole alongside. Lane Perkins is in the 9th row with the winner from Atlanta in the summer, Nick Sanchez. Row 10, Myatt Snyder, alongside Thomas Annunziata. Jesse Love confirmed that he's staying with Richard Childress Racing in the Xfinity Series for next year. He rolls off 21st tonight, trying to book a spot in the championship for Floridian Daniel Dye is with him. Row 12, Corey Day, short track ace, with Sam Mayer starting deep in the field. Ryan Ellis, just heard about his future. He's in the 13th row with Connor Mosack back in the Viking Motorsports entry. Kyle Sieg and Brad Perez in the 14th row, just ahead of Anthony Alfredo and Dean Thompson. Garrett Sidley lines up 31st with Josh Williams, who had a great weekend last week in Alabama. Patrick Staropoli rolls off in the 17th row, flanked by Mason Maggio's Piedmont Triad Insurance Ford. Jeremy Clements from South Carolina in the Spartan Waste Chevrolet. He's alongside Takuma Koga in row 18, and in the 19th and final row, it's Austin Green. And get this, kids, after finishing first all season long, seemingly, Connor Zilich starts last here tonight. One car failed to qualify. That was Preston Pardus, and that is your 38-car starting grid with 25 Chevrolets, 7 Toyotas, and 6 Fords. Parade and pace laps underway here at Martinsville. We're under the lights, and we're just about ready to go. Track record was set here, track race record, I should say, set here all the way back in September of 1982 by Grand National Series legend Sam Ard and an average speed of 79.607 miles an hour. You know what? In that race, JT, that race finished in under an hour, 59 minutes and 25 seconds. Think we'll be so lucky tonight?
Probably not, but it's a weird one here in the UK. We're changing time zones in the middle of this broadcast, so that'll be fun.
Right. Yep. That's only a couple of hours, hour and a half away, right?
Hour and 10 minutes away. So anyone who's watching the behind-the-scenes broadcast, and in fact, if we are under caution when the times will change, I will bring up my behind-the-scenes clock so you can watch it happen, I guess.
Is that going to just throw all the technology into a state of disarray when the clocks reset? And
I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't mess up my nice clocks.
It's gonna be like the Millennium Bug or whatever it's called.
I haven't a clue what that is, but I don't know what any of it.
You know when everyone thought all the computers were gonna crash when it went to year 2000.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh, okay, very good.
Everyone thought that every computer was just going to crash.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I do remember that.
When we changed time zones.
Of course, I was actually alive for that. I'm not sure if you two were. I'm sure you'll tell me no. That's a long time ago.
I was -8.
Thank you.
-5.
You guys, you guys are great. Anyway. All right, ready to go. As we mentioned, we will keep you updated with the live playoff standings all night long with what they look like. Again, just to remind you, no matter what happens tonight, Zilich and Allgaier are through into the Championship 4. Love is relatively safe at plus 40, and then it's all tight from 4th on back with Carson Quaffle holding the last spot above the cut line at plus 11. Brandon Jones minus 20, Sam Mayer minus 22, Sheldon Creed at minus 41 more than likely has to win. There is a path towards pointing your way in for everyone else, but of course the only sure way to do it is to step to the plate and win the race. Feels like we have been on parade and pace laps for an absolute age. It does not take long. This is hardly Road America pace laps going on here, as we are now past the scheduled green flag time, which just, I love it when we go past the scheduled green flag time. Anyway, 250 lap race tonight. First 2 stages will go 60 laps each. The final stage will go 130. That 250 lap distance is 131.5 miles, and for all of you that use kilometer, you can do the conversion yourself. We are stopping again on the racetrack. This is getting off to a flying start, guys.
You're enjoying this, Matthew, aren't you?
Oh, you know I am.
Yeah. Well,
off pit road, by the way. Nearly hit a safety truck.
Amazing. Well, while we're waiting, hello to Plug, hello to Robert, hello to Rick, hello to Bob as well. He's saying it's 53 degrees at the moment, and because I will actually do the calculations myself, Matthew, thank you very much. 11.6 degrees. That's not. I was out at Ringwood in like what felt like freezing conditions. It was very cold, and I'm still trying to get round how the hell that car did the thing that it did. And I am going to shut up because I've just seen that we are getting ready to go green. So Matthew, take it away.
Oh, merciful heavens, thank goodness. We're all on the edge of our seats here, and we're just... It's almost as if we're all watching, waiting, listening to a ticking time bomb. Perhaps that'll be the feeling for 500 laps tomorrow, but tonight, it's the feeling for 250 laps for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Martinsville. Rich Keeter has the flag in hand. Harrison Burton on the pole for the first time in his Xfinity Series career. The green flag goes up in the air, and it's time to drop the hammer at the paperclip of Martinsville, and it's Burton away with the lead through the first set of corners, clearing the flat turn 2. Eric Almirola and Carson Quaffle will go side by side for second, heading to 3. Under braking to the second set of corners of the night, Harrison Burton will lead lap 1. Almirola's through to second, Quaffle third.
Down now in towards turn 3, and well, wake up graphics, we're already on lap 2. You don't need to show us that we're green again. It's Harrison Burton still leading, followed by Almirola Quaffle in third, but round the outside, that's Austin Hill trying to get past.
Well, clean start as Harrison Burton leads us into lap number 3. There's curbing to the inside of the corners here, and that can really throw things into disarray as Sammy Smith is trying to make up ground here. He's going to dive to that curbing in turn 3 to the inside of Jeb Burton, native Virginian. Smith, the first one below the cut line. He's made his way past Jeb Burton, Jack, and now he's going after Parker Retzlaff.
When that graphic flashed up, I thought it was a caution already, and I was like, really, guys? But no, one driver who I think has to be given some praise so far, I think for his qualifying effort and for maintaining the spot at the start, has to be Brendan Queen here. I think it's only in about his 4th or 5th Xfinity start, running full-time with Corlig in the Truck Series next year, currently running in 7th place. I think he deserves so far some credit for his qualifying. He adjusted incredibly quickly.
Yeah, the ARCA champion. He was crowned ARCA champion a couple of weeks ago as Sam Mayer gets up on the curb coming out of turn 4, trying to make his way past Blaine Perkins. Mayer was the worst starting of the playoff drivers not named Connor Zilich, who of course has already advanced. Zilich had to start at the rear. Mayer working on Perkins. He's just in front of Corey Day. And Mayer under braking to turn 3, fills the hole to the inside of Perkins, and he'll make that pass. Mayer moves up into the 20th position, but already Jackson beating and banging. Mayer a moment ago trying to root Perkins up off the bottom, but clipped the curb himself. We just caught that live on the onboard shot a moment ago.
Guys, it's lap like 10. Are we really using the bumpers already? Like, it's not even lap 10. Like, are we really using the bumpers already? I get that Blaine Perkins is slow, but really?
Perkins might be losing another spot here in turn 1 to Connor Mosak, who sends Perkins up the hill and completes the path just outside the top 20. Racing goes on just behind this group. Kyle Sieg is there, Patrick Scarapoli. Further up the running order, Christian Eckes is under fire from Jeb Burton, just outside the top 10, and JT Perkins may have been roughed up even a little bit more a moment ago.
Yep, courtesy of the 17 of Day, and that just pushed him wide. Got a little loose into entry on the brakes.
Yeah, and lost the rear.
Corey Day things.
Wow. Yeah, Day lost the rear under braking. Day in the Hendrick Motorsports entry, car 17 from HMS. Of course, has had many different drivers in the car throughout the year. Day running, of course, most of the playoff races in that car. Carson Quaffle loses a position at the start-finish line. Brendan Queen, aforementioned ARCA champion, gets by Quaffle, so Queen up to 6th. Quaffle backslides to 7th after starting in the 4th position. Brandon Jones is there in 8th, followed by Taylor Gray and Austin Hill. We'll be following Quaffle a lot tonight. Rookie driver JT trying to get into the championship 4. And, of course, he will not be back full-time in this series next year. He'll still be with JRM, but it won't be full-time going for the Drivers' Championship. But he's going for a spot to try to win the Drivers' Championship tonight.
Yes, he is. One of the many drivers we're keeping an eye on today. And back out in front. It still has Burton keeping control of this lead at the moment. But Almirola has closed in and he's looking to get past.
Almirola won this race last year, and he got a good bite this time out of turn 4, and he's going to sneak a peek to the inside of Burton in turn 1. Burton tries to shut the door. Almirola is there, does not lift. He'll squeeze to the inside of Burton coming out of turn 2. Side by side for the lead, we race down the back straightaway. Justin Allgaier at 3rd watches this battle every step of the way. Almirola on the bottom through 3 and 4, drew even with Burton momentarily, but Burton got a good drive off the top of 4. He'll hold on to the lead for now. Harrison Burton holding on to the top spot. Almirola on his bumper. Allgaier 3rd. And these 3 have splintered away from the rest of the field.
It's not surprising for me to see 2 of these guys. It is a little... Oh, Justin slid there, jeez. But it is surprising to see Harrison able to maintain the lead against what I think is a very aggressive driver this season in Eric Almirola. As he's going to go down the inside here again. Person's going to try and block off again. I don't think he can. I think this is fruitless, but he's still going to try it, I guess.
Side Burton on the bottom. Think he's going to be able to make the pass this time. Again, gets a good bite from the center off of turn 2. Has a nose in front by the time they get to 3. And Almirola is going to take the lead of this race at the end of the 17th lap. Now the fight for 2nd. Burton will just stay ahead of Allgaier. So Eric Almirola, who's won twice here at Martinsville in the Xfinity Series, both last year, as it were, goes to the lead. And I think I'm absolutely in agreement with you there, Jack. Almirola, who wasn't known in his long tenure in the Cup Series as an overly aggressive driver, he's been extremely aggressive this year, and especially in this playoff run, as he and that 19 team go after the Owners' Championship. He's already won a couple of playoff races at Bristol and Las Vegas.
It's surprising to me. As you mentioned, he wasn't known for being a particularly aggressive driver. Like, I don't think I can recall a single instance of Eric Almirola wrecking someone on purpose or spitting anybody out on purpose. That's how clean the guy was. He's got back into the Xfinity car last year. He has just been an absolute menace on the racetrack. An absolute pain to race against, in all honesty. That's really... Brendan Queen's up to 5th, wow.
Yeah, Queen and Ryan Sieg. Yeah, those two moving up through the field together. On the opposite end of that spectrum, JT, the two of Jesse Love is really falling back. He just lost another spot to Corey Day. Love is struggling here at the start. Plus 40 to the cut line at the start. He's dropped to 17.
Yep, down. Not the best start for that 2 car. Back with your leader around Roller. He's pulled a second now, but up the inside. Here comes the 54 of Gray on Quaffle. This is battle for 8th. Sammy Smith just behind in 10th. Just seen that Dan Dye has moved up a position. Up to 21st.
The Quaffle and Sammy Smith, as we start to lose Josh there. It sounded like you just started to walk away from your microphone. But Quaffle and Sammy Smith, teammates running nose to tail at 9th and 10th. Actually find it pretty interesting here, Jack. Off the start, a bunch of the playoff drivers have dropped back, while a bunch of non-playoff drivers have moved forward, like Ryan Sieg and Brendan Queen. But now the guy that is moving forward, as we knew he would from the back, is Connor Zilic.
Where's Zilic right now? Running?
31st, I've got him as.
Okay. He's behind probably my favourite driver in the field, in Brad Perez right now. What an absolute legend that guy is. Has run part-time with Alpha Prime this year, and obviously now running one more race this year for SS Greenlight, as we see the Junior Motorsports guys going head-to-head here. The two who are probably points-wise the closest with the cut-off, Quaffle and Smith. Quaffle currently on top.
Oh.
Bumper.
Yeah,
That's
Smith,
a teammate.
Yep, Smith gives the shot to Quaffle in turn 1. You're right, these two are teammates, but they are fighting each other for the final spot on points. Quaffle, coming into the race, has the first spot above the cut line. Smith has the last... they're right together is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't get that out. Quaffle has the last spot above the cut line. Smith is right behind him by 11 points at the start of the night. And they're nose to tail here at 9th and 10th on the racetrack. In the live standings, JT, Quaffle is now 14 points above the cut line, while Smith is minus 14 along with Brandon Jones.
Yep, and then Creed minus 32, Mayer minus 36. But we are just on board with Brandon Jones at the moment, I do believe. Creed just in front, heading towards turn 3 and turn 4. A little bit of the bumper once again as we head down the front straight, and Creed, he looked like he just tapped the wall. Just bounced off of it.
I mentioned earlier Brandon Jones in this race a few years ago, Jack. It would almost be like a full circle moment if Jones was able to win this race tonight to advance to the championship race after what happened with he and then teammate Ty Gibbs in this race, 3 years ago?
Yeah, there was that. And the thing I remember about that race is not Brandon Jones getting dumped. It's the fact that Sheldon Creed finished second. That is genuinely what I remember. Because he has now finished second 3 times here, as you mentioned earlier. I think he could be in with a possible shout at the win if some of the top contenders have trouble. It's interesting to see Sammy being this aggressive with Carson. With Carson obviously not returning next year. At least not on a full-time basis. I think Dale Jr. said on his podcast... Oh, we got one around.
Wyatt Snyder in turn 2 has spun. He's kept it off the wall, but the caution has come out. Wyatt Snyder, who makes an appearance in the Xfinity Series every now and again, has gone around at the top of turn 2. JT,
man.
what happened here? He was right in front of Nick Sanchez.
Yep, does Nick Sanchez tap him around?
Oh, Nick.
Does look like he does, unfortunately, for that 91 car. As we have another look at it. Yeah, just tapped that 91 car around. And there will be, as he comes down pit road, I believe, there'll be some sour bones for that Sour Boy Chevrolet. That's terrible, I know.
Wyatt Snyder, of course. Snyder, an Xfinity Series winner in 2021 at Homestead while driving the car that Jesse Love now drives, the number 2. This is Jeff Snyder's 4th Xfinity Series start of the season, driving for Mario Goslin's team. Also ran at Homestead, Martinsville, and Nashville. This season did Snyder, the son of Marty Snyder, who, of course, you'll hear plenty on pit road tomorrow for the Cup race on NBC.
Good racer, Myatt, to be honest. Surprised he doesn't have a full-time ride.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't think he was given long enough at Childress when he had a full-time ride in that 2-car. Was 9th in the championship in 2021.
He's one of the thing is, the one race he did win, that was the one where Starr collected Gregson.
Exactly right. As leaders are coming to pit road, we will not have reports on pit road because CW is in break.
Incredible.
Incredible indeed. Not everybody on pit road, but a number of lead lap cars are. Eric Almirola, the leader, came in. Jesse Love has come in. Sheldon Creed, Brandon Jones, pole sitter Harrison Burton I see on pit road. So a number of cars hitting pit lane. Justin Allgaier, another one. So number of cars spread throughout the top 20 or so hitting pit lane here at our first caution of the night. We're working lap 35 of 60 in stage 1. Justin Allgaier is going to win the race off of pit road from Jones, Burton, Almirola, Creed, Sieg, Gray, Smith, Quaffle, Austin Hill, then Jesse Love, as I just called the race off pit road on an onboard camera while CW was in break. Not the easiest thing to do.
That's why we call you the Oracle, Matthew. Surely.
Surely. You have to have some kind of reason to call me that, I suppose.
To NASCAR, please fix your website so I can get the driver tracker. Thank you. To NASCAR, the time in 71, the data that you provide, that time in 71 takes that data and displays it in a nice timing screen. It's not working. Please fix it. That is the reason why we are staying on this screen, if anyone is wondering, because, well, if we go to this screen, as you can see where the driver tracker is, meant to be on the bottom right, it's not there, and, well, it gets better. If we go to the main tracker screen, that is a beautiful sight. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I did enjoy your comment there. The driver tracker will appear as soon as it starts working, for anyone wondering.
Yeah, got a lot of penalties, by the way.
Oh, a lot, you say?
A lot. Ryan Ellis for commitment line violation. Jesse Love, too fast on pit road. Nick Sanchez, too fast on pit road. Garrett Smithley, too fast on pit road.
Didn't know he could do that.
But yeah.
Sorry, Garrett.
Sammy Smith, speeding on pit road.
Gosh, that's 2 playoff drivers.
Actually, didn't know he could do that.
2 playoff drivers caught speeding. 8 drivers stayed out, did not pit under this caution. Those being Brendan Queen, Jeb Burton, Sam Mayer, Christian Eckes, Connor Zilich, Daniel Dye, Anthony Alfredo, and Austin Green all stayed out. So those will be the top 8 on the restart. First car off of pit road was Justin Allgaier, followed by Brandon Jones. Connor Zilich, who of course had to start at the rear, did get some damage while working his way through the stack up after Myatt Snyder's spin. There's some left front fender damage to the 88 car as he ran into the back of Patrick Staropoli in the stack up. Don't think that'll affect him too terribly much. Not here. Aerodynamics not exactly all that important around this half mile. Pace car is off. Brendan Queen and Jeb Burton on the front row lead the field to the green flag. Rich Keeter puts it in the air, and we are back underway with 22 laps to go in stage number 1. And Jeb Burton gets shoved up the racetrack by an oncoming Sam Mayer. Burton will have to fall in line, losing 3, maybe 5 positions. Queen gets away with the lead. The fight is on for second between Eckes and Mayer. Burton shoved up the track again at turn 3, and Jack, it's not a memorable lap for Jeb Burton.
Your name is Jeb Burton. You're probably annoyed at literally everyone, including your strategist at this point. As Austin Green gets moved up the track a little bit there by Sammy. So we nearly went 3 wide there as Christian Eckes down to the inside. We cut away from that absolutely wonderful camera work. As Sammy Smith is trying to get to the inside of Austin Green. Austin, you're just slow. I love you, mate, but please get out the way. I don't want you to wreck anyone. Corey Day is there. You got Patrick Staropoli, of all people, on the inside of Williams Wallet. What's Alfredo doing there? He's up there in about 5th position.
Boy, all these drivers with 4 tires coming up like a bulldozer here, just ramming their way through the cars that didn't stop. They are 3 wide in turn 1. Justin Allgaier fits his car to the inside of Anthony Alfredo and Connor Zilich. Allgaier on 4 fresh tires will get by them both. You've got Colleague cars at the front, 1st, 3rd, and 4th, separated only by Sam Mayer running 2nd. But JT, for only, about 30 or so green flag laps, the drivers that did not pit, their tires are just not hooking up, and everyone on fresh tires is coming in like a battering ram.
Something else that came in like a battering ram, Matthew, was the whole timing systems going down, not just timing 71. But a quick refresh and it's all sorted, and hopefully, please NASCAR, fix your timing screens and get a better system, even though their system is pretty good. Brandon Jones down in towards turn 3, although I do have an external system still flashing yellow at me from around 100 laps ago, even though we're only on lap 45.
45, yes, indeed. Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones making the pass for 7th on Anthony Alfredo now as he shoots towards turn 3. He's going to sneak a peek to the inside of Connor Zilich. Marty Lindley, his crew chief, making the decision to keep Zilich out to try to get some track position. Hopefully he can hang on to a top 10 spot or so. By the time the stage ends, that would be a net gain. As in turn 1, Sammy Smith puts the bumper again to the back of his teammate Carson Quaffle, and we have a caution. Yellow lights illuminating around the track. It's because Connor Mosak has spun in the middle of turns 3 and 4. He's having an almighty time getting it pointed back the right direction with leaders going by him. Now Mosak will get back going, and we're under the caution once again. Mosak, who had a tremendous run driving for Junior Motorsports at the race in Charlotte in the playoffs at the Roval. Now at Viking Motorsports for the last 3 races of the year, filling the seat left vacated by Matt DiBenedetto. Mosak has gone around, and we're back under caution again with Brendan Queen leading the way. This happening at lap 46. I have no idea how Mosak got turned around there.
I, for one, just want to add for the record that I am not surprised Matt DiBenedetto didn't make it to the end of the year.
You know, Matt DiBenedetto...
I've been told he's not the easiest person to work with.
No, he's... I mean, that's been... That has been public knowledge, I feel, for a number of years now, unfortunately.
War, Wood Brothers...
Yeah, because there was a good spell of time, particularly after that Bristol night race in whatever year that was. I think it was 2019. Don't quote me on that. When he nearly won that race against Denny Hamlin while he was at he was with the 95 team, Levine family racing, as it were. After that, it seemed like he was a real crowd favorite. But no, you're right. Seems like a lot has come out about him not being the easiest person to work with.
Can we just end the race now? Can we just have a Brendan Butterbean Queen win? Please.
He's on my wavelength right here.
Well,
I watched this guy in the Cars Tour, dude. I want him to win a race.
Well, you know, if he does win tonight, and he's good on these kinds of racetracks, obviously, if he does win tonight, there are many Waffle Houses in this surrounding area. And, of course, that is his trademark, to win a race, get the trophy, and take the trophy to the nearest Waffle House, because of course Waffle House is open 24 hours. Are there Waffle Houses over there in your neck of the woods?
Don't think. Hold on, I'll have a look.
The
I was going to say
the only Waffle House that I know of in the UK is the Song.
I would be absolutely stunned if you lot told me that there were a Waffle House over there.
Can I read out a radio message quickly?
Go
Okay.
Jeb Burton says, go ahead and tell the 41 that he's done. He's done when I get him. Something him and his championship.
Okay, we do not have any US-based Waffle House chains. But there is a separate, independently owned restaurant, and you are welcome for the free promotion, I guess, called the Waffle House, that exists in St. Albans, out of anywhere. Could have picked anywhere, but no, it has to be St. Albans.
Well, of course, the Waffle House that Brendan Queen goes to with winners' trophies are open 24 hours a day, a lot in this area of the country. You can get breakfast any time of the day.
Imagine waking up at 3 AM and thinking, I'm going to go to a Waffle House now.
Yeah.
Brendan Queen does every night.
Yeah, he seems to every night, yes. And of course, it is at the Waffle House where you can order your hash browns.
Oh, I love a good hash brown.
Smothered, covered. What's the other one? Smothered, covered, and something else. That's on the Waffle House menu.
Sounds incredible, to be fair. And also insanely unhealthy.
Perhaps it's
I'm not
right?
going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Isn't that the USA in a nutshell?
Yeah, not wrong. Okay, we have confirmation on who got into the 99. It was Jeremy Clements.
It'll be 8 laps to go in stage 1 when we get the restart.
Orange, you glad?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Can we mute him for the entire stream?
We might all end up in this, we all might end up muted here before the night's over. Alright. 8 to go in stage 1. Brendan Queen and Sam Mayer on the front row. Justin Allgaier on the freshest tires of all the leaders in row 2 with Christian Eckes, then Daniel Dye and Brandon Jones. Here comes the field into the restart zone. Green flag goes up in the air once again. It's a really good restart from Allgaier on those 4 fresh tires inside of row 2, but he does not duck out to try to make it 3 wide with Queen and Mayer. Side by side for the lead off of turn 2. Allgaier's got a great run down the back straightaway. Again, he'll stay in line behind the 2 leaders that are side by side ahead of him as the conveyor belt works through turns 3 and 4. Queen with a nose in front of Mayer at the start-finish line. Behind Allgaier, Brandon Jones made a big dive off of turn 4 to try to get to the inside of Christian Eckes. He could not do that as we're still wheel to wheel for the lead, and Justin Allgaier looking very antsy, JT, trying to find a lane, and he might have a lane opened right up to him if Queen and Mayer get together.
Yep, round the outside is Mayer. He did get the lead that lap by 22 thousandths of a second. We're still side by side. Allgaier on the inside, just nudging Queen a little bit, but now he pulls to the outside, does the 7, but the 41 right round the outside, and has got half of his car in front of that 11. And now we'll try to clear the 11 as he goes down in towards turn 1, but here comes Allgaier up the inside.
Mayer clear to the lead. Allgaier stuffs it in hard under braking to turn 1 to get to the inside of Queen. We've got 5 laps to go in this stage. Sam Mayer started the night 22 points below the cut line. A stage win for him would be massive, but it might be difficult to hold off Allgaier, who does clear Queen for second. Across the line, 4 laps to go in this opening stage. Allgaier on fresher tires now on the prowl to try to get to Mayer. Side-by-side racing further back in the pack, but the CW he really needs to show us the leaders, because Mayer, stage win for him would be massive, but Allgaier should be closing in on him. I wish they would show us the battle for the lead. Now they do, Jack, and Allgaier is to the inside of Mayer.
Allgaier side by side with Sam Mayer. The two are nearly rubbing wheels. I don't think they touch. And Allgaier gets through. Allgaier to the race lead with 2 laps to go in the stage. What's Mayer going to do about it?
So Allgaier to the lead.
Really
Oh, Mayer! Wow! He goes way up the track in turn 1 as he locked up the rear brake. He'll lose 2, 3 positions as by him goes Almirola, by him goes Queen, by him goes Jones. Mayer will fall back in line 5th. Meanwhile, Allgaier comes around to start the last lap of stage number 1. His lead on Eric Almirola is comfortable at 3/4 of a second. Further back, action for stage points. Daniel Dye skates up the track in turn 1. Carson Quaffel's going to get around him. Quaffel could score some extra stage points, which would certainly be big for him too. Justin Allgaier comes off turn 4. Green and white checkered flag waving. It is the 14th stage win of the season for Allgaier. He wins it ahead of Almirola, Queen, Jones, and Mayer. That is 6 championship points for Mayer. Connor Zilich ends up 6th, Harrison Burton 7th, Eckes 8th, Creed 9th, Day 10th, and Quaffel and Smith both shut out of stage points there, JT. So Allgaier wins the stage, doesn't really do much of anything for him because he's done collecting playoff points for the season as he's already into Phoenix, but the reigning series champion is the stage 1 winner tonight.
Yep, gets that stage win in the books, and well, there's one problem about you guys trying to mute me, is that you can mute me as much as you want on a USN, but then there'll be random times of dead air. But on JBM, there is one problem. You can't mute me because I have control of the stream and I can mute you instead. Anyway, it's the end of stage 1, and well, since we don't have Matt White or Seth Eves with me, I'm going to put Matthew under the bus. I was going to say it's the 26th of October, but no, because time zones, it's the 25th of October. So, I'm going to quickly get up the page which I have, and, well, let's see how long Facebook takes to load. Yes, I use Facebook, don't judge me.
Well, let's see. Yes, I can start
Ryan
to read off the
Treese
list. Yeah.
Spawn on this day, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we are going to go with the 25th because the 26th we will go through tomorrow.
And you don't want to steal the job away from Matt White.
That's exactly right. Yes, you're right. Ryan Preece was born on this day in 1990. John Wood was born on this day in 1981. So was Jeb Burton's father, Ward Burton, winner of the 2001 Southern 500 and the 2002 Daytona 500. Born on this day in 1961, so that's a good birthday list. There are other many names on this list that I'm sure Matt White would know who they are because he knows who the Vietnamese World Karting Champion was from 1992. All right, let's move on to races on this day, and let's start on this day in 2020. Remember when it was called the NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series? Well, it was in 2020, and in the SpeedyCash.com 400 at Texas, Jack Sky, Sheldon,
every day.
scored the win. Creed, of course, a former Truck Series champion. Also on that day in 2020, the Formula One Heineken Portuguese Grand Prix was won by Lewis Hamilton. On this day in 2015, NASCAR's Cup Series ran the CampingWorld.com 500 at Talladega. That was won by Joey Logano. It was nearly won by Brian Scott. I think he finished second in that race, if I'm not mistaken. And also on that day, Formula One at COTA, the United States Grand Prix was won by Lewis Hamilton. On this day in 2014, Supercars at Surfers Paradise for the Castrol Edge Gold Coast 600. Race number 1, Jonathan Webb won with a guy named Shane Van Gisbergen. Wonder whatever happened to him.
Who?
On this in 2014, right here at Martinsville, Truck Series race was run here and won by Darrell Wallace Jr. On this day in 2009, also here at Martinsville, Cup Series ran What did they run? The Tums Fast Relief 500. Denny Hamlin scored the victory. On this day in 2008, the Kroger On Track for the Cure 250 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series at the now defunct Memphis Motorsports Park was won by Carl Edwards. Another Supercars race at Surfers Paradise on this day in 2008, the Coffee Club V8 Supercar Challenge, won by Jamie Wincup. Also on that day in 2008, Truck Series was at Atlanta. Ryan Newman won the race, driving for Kevin Harvick's team. On this day in 2003, the Busch Series ran the Aaron's 312 at Atlanta. Greg Biffle scored the victory there. On this day in 1998, what was then known as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series ran the Duralube Kmart 500 at Phoenix. Rusty Wallace scored the victory there. On this day in 1997, a Busch Series win for Mark Martin shot horror in the AC Delco 200 at Rockingham. That's Rockingham. Also at Rockingham in 1992, the AC Delco 500 was won by Kyle Petty in the Cup Series. Here's a name that I always like to hear when it gets brought up. On this day in 1992, the Fuji Television Japanese Grand Prix was won by Riccardo Patrese. Another Cup race at Rockingham on this day in 1987, Bill Elliott scored the victory there. Now, this is far too old for you guys because, you know, you guys are so much younger than me, as we all know. On this day in 1975, second race of the International Race of Champions was in Riverside, California. Bobby Unser scored victory. 1970, the Formula One Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, right where they'll run tomorrow. Jackie Ickx scored the victory. On this day in 1964, a USAC Champ Car race, the Golden State 100 from California State Fairgrounds. A.J. Foyt scored the victory. Dan Gurney won the 1964 Mexican Grand Prix on this day. And Jim Hurtubise won that same Golden State 100 on this day in 1959. And the furthest back a race goes on this day, 1924 AAA Champ Car Series race at the Charlotte Speedway, not the Motor Speedway, but the Charlotte Speedway was won by Tommy Milton. And that was on this day in racing history.
I was minus 84.
Thank you very much. I was not born either, contrary to popular belief around here.
Joshua Birch is probably still kicking it around then.
Now, I would like to make one note about that 1992 Cup race at Rockingham that I mentioned, the AC Delco 500. Kyle Petty won the race. Listen to this. 500 miles at Rockingham, 492 laps. Those races took forever. They were slogs. Kyle Petty used to have the field just flattened out at Rockingham in that mellow yellow Felix Sabates Pontiac. He led 484 of 492 laps that day, if I'm not too terribly mistaken. And if memory serves, only 2 cars finished on the lead lap. It was Petty and Ernie Irvan. Everyone else was at least 1 lap down. Of course, that was the anti-penultimate race of that great 92 season, which, of course, Alan Kowicki won the championship in from Bill Elliott and Davey Allison. Petty was also in that championship fight with Mark Martin and Harry Gant. But yes, Kyle Petty at Rockingham and Dover. Those 2 racetracks that were so similar in those days with the high banking and the surface, he could wear them out at those 2 tracks. And he certainly did at Rockingham in that 42 car in 90, 91, and again in 92. And he also won at Dover in 95 in the Coors Light car for Felix Sabates. But yes, that 92 race at Rockingham. 2 cars on the lead lap, if memory serves. That 92 season, Petty won twice. He also won at Watkins Glen. Rain-shortened race at Watkins Glen. I thought there was going to be a comment after that. Any other race from the past that you'd like me to delve into as we're still under yellow?
None
We're,
from me.
we're still under yellow at Martinsville. Shock.
And leaders, we're on pit road while under this caution. We'll reset the running order for you before we go back green. Because, listen, I can go into the 1998 Phoenix race if you want me to. That was the only rain-shortened race at Phoenix. If you can believe it, NASCAR brought rain to Arizona.
I'm sorry, say that again. Vane, Arizona.
Rusty Wallace won that race. Jeff Gordon finished 7th, I know for sure.
Okay, Oracle. Going back to that 2020 F1 race you mentioned.
The Portuguese.
Yeah,
Right?
that was a special race for Lewis, wasn't it? Because he became the most successful driver in terms of victories. That was his 92nd.
Oh, was that his 92nd? Wow.
Yes.
Look at you go.
See, believe it or not, I know stuff.
His day is done when I get to him. Him and his championship. He's done. Done.
So that
sounds like fun.
That is Jeb Burton. He's referring to Sam Mayer.
Yeah.
What I read
Well,
earlier.
Again, his father Ward celebrating a birthday today, and in many ways, Jeb has the same short temper as his father did. Ward had great one-liners in his day. All right.
You ready to go, Matthew?
Yeah, ready to go. Coming for the restart, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Eric Almirola, Connor Zilich on the first 2 rows, Chevrolet and Toyota on the front row, green flag up in the air. Stage 2 goes under the green flag here at Martinsville. Justin Allgaier on the restart gets the whole shot. He is clear to the lead before they exit turn 2, and they are side by side for second behind him now. 2 Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. Brandon Jones on the outside. Eric Almirola to his left elbow fills the hole on the bottom. Connor Zilich runs side by side with Harrison Burton just behind those 2. Jones secures second, swipes down across the nose of Almirola on the approach to turn number 1. So it's Allgaier from Jones, from Almirola, the top 3. Zilich goes clear to the 4th ahead of Harrison Burton. Then comes Corey Day and Sheldon Creed, JT.
Around we go across the line. We are now starting lap 15 of 60 in the stage. Same length, stage 1 and 2, but a little bit shorter with that stage break, but it all depends on how many cautions we have a little bit later on, as we've got Harrison Burton up the inside of Zilich, who's all the way up to 4th after he had to start last.
Yeah, Marty Lindley left him out during that caution where a lot of the leaders came in stage 1 to get some track position. He and Harrison Burton fighting hammer and tong for this 4th position on the way to turn number 3. Already brake rotors glowing, easy for me to say, on the Zilich car as Burton drifted up a bit on the exit of turn 4. May have been slight contact. Further back, Carson Quaffle on the move to the inside of Corey Day in turn 1. Quaffle will make that pass for the 7th position as Harrison Burton has cleared Zilich. That's for 4th, and Sheldon Creed now is going to knock Zilich up the mild banking of turn 3. Creed not mucking about here, Jack, as he wants to get by Zilich for the 5th position.
Well, he's in a must-win situation, isn't he? So I'd expect this sort of aggressive racing from him. Creed, it's been his season this year not been as good as I would say the last couple of years have been. But he's still been a contender. I wouldn't say for a win, but still getting those top 10s and those top 5 finishes. Him and Zilich having a very physical battle right now. They're getting to know each other incredibly well, I have to say.
Creed is 35 points below the cut line in the live standings, so as you say, and those live standings just magically pop up as I talk about them. Very well done. As you say, he is in a must-win. Carson Quaffle, who's just behind this group, is only +3 to the cut line on Brandon Jones, who currently runs in 2nd. For you Takuma Koga fans, 48-year-old Japanese driver has fallen 2 laps down to the leader, Justin Allgaier. And speaking of leader Allgaier, JT, he's got company at the back door. Knocking on it is Brandon Jones.
As meanwhile, battle for 5th, it's Zilich around the outside of Creed. Zilich trying to gain those positions. Back with the lead is Brandon Jones. Looking down the inside, isn't able to get there in turns 3 and 4, but if he gets the exit out of 4, which he very nearly does, but just not quick enough, was Brandon Jones out of the turn, but down in towards turn 2 we go down the back straight.
Jones is all over the back of Allgaier here. Jones, of course, He is 3 points in the live standings below the cut line. He could either point his way in or he could win his way in. And the guy that he's trying to overtake for that final spot on the cut line, Carson Quaffle, he's just made up another place. He's past Zilich. Quaffle up to 6th. Zilich still milking some old tires here, Jack. He's got Taylor Gray sneaking a peek to his inside, but back at the front, Jones applying the pressure on Allgaier. Almirola's right there in 3rd.
I want to bring up another interesting fact. You mentioned Jeb Burton having that short temper, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Well, apparently he got moved out of the way by Sammy Smith on the restart and then immediately tried to retaliate.
He's
losing, both of them losing spots.
He's been hit quite a bit tonight, has Jeb. On that last restart, he was hit by someone 2 or 3 different times. The restart. Yes, indeed. As well. Sieg gets a bit physical and muscles Corey Day up and out of the groove, but Sieg can't make the pass on Day. This is back at 9th position, and those two still running side by side in turn 3. Day trying to pinch Sieg down. Good run off the top by Day. He's recovered nicely, and he holds on to that 9th position. Sieg just behind in 10th, followed by Anthony Alfredo and Sammy Smith. Then comes Austin Hill, who emerged from the chaos here to win at Martinsville in the spring. Up front, still Allgaier and Jones, followed by Almirola. Top 3 are nose to tail. Harrison Burton's not too far back in the 4th position. Sheldon Creed runs out the top 5. We're already just about halfway home in stage 1. JT, Sieg, bumper to the back of Day a moment ago. That's just a Martinsville incident.
Martinsville shenanigans happening at Martinsville. Really? No, never. Ryan Sieg trying to get past, and, well, just a little nudge on the bumper, and that just is a prime example of how little of a nudge can unsettle the car so much.
Martinsville shenanigans happening at Martinsville, JT. Yes, you sounded a little bit like Mike Bagley there. Over there at turn 2 in Pocono, it's called the tunnel turn because there's a tunnel under the turn. That's why it's called.
Wow.
There's also a tunnel going underneath turn 4 here at Martinsville. We won't call that the tunnel turn. However, fight for speed has boiled up. Eric Almirola has gotten to the inside and past his teammate Brandon Jones. So Almirola moves up into the 2nd position. Jones backslides to 3rd. As we're working lap 30 of 60 in stage 2, 90 of 250 for the race. Justin Allgaier is the leader. And as we're just shy of the 100 lap mark, as I just mentioned, JT, your thoughts through the first 90 laps of this race, first stage and a half, if you will.
It's been not that chaotic for Martinsville, but Brandon Jones currently in 3rd, trying to get past Almirola. He dives down, and well, that's an F1 move, going to a pit crew member, and the caution's out.
Oh, it's Jeb Burton, just talking about him being beaten up a little bit here. And apparently he's been turned around by somebody. He's got a flat left rear tire for sure. Does Jeb. Not sure if that's what caused the spin or if it was a piece of the aftermath. But Jeb Burton from Halifax, Virginia, not too far away from here, has gone for a spin, and we're under caution for the 4th time here tonight. Okay, Jack, what does the survey say that sent Jeb Burton around?
Survey says...
We don't know.
Yeah, he had a flat tire when he arrived at turn 1.
Contact might have caused that.
Well, he's been contacted from every which angle tonight.
This is where you get the guy saying, hit the pace car.
Yes.
That's surely a contender for USN Out of Context 3, Matthew Owens.
Oh, absolutely. It has to be. Has to be. Of course, you know, USRN shelf life doesn't... not too many days left on the shelf life of USRN.
Or should I say USN Out of Context 1?
Yes, indeed. Okay, pit road is open, and just about all of the leaders are going to come in, but Carson Quaffle is not. Let's go to pit road.
It's at pit road in Dillon. And here's Eric Almirola, pits from second. Said his entry and exit were good. He just needed more rotation in the center. Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Brandon Jones there, second from the top. Said his car was loose off, but mainly because the front isn't rotating. They'll make some changes to help that, Kim.
You see second from the bottom, Harrison Burton having a great run tonight. Just tight center, then entry and exit gets a little bit loose. Then Justin Allgaier there on the bottom said, really good, but I lose the right front when the track rubber gets laid down. So no major adjustments for the 7. They'll take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel.
Race off of pit road here, and it looks like it's been won by Justin Allgaier. It has. From Kyle Sieg, who comes out second. I'm going to guess there's a story behind that. Probably missed his pit box. Indeed, he's going to come right back to pit road, will Kyle?
Hey, that's overtaking under caution.
Oh, give him a break. He just missed his pit box. He's got enough. As I mentioned, Carson Quaffle and a few others did stay out. Looks like Quaffle, Anthony Alfredo, Brendan Queen, Nick Sanchez, Christian Eckes, Sam Mayer, Parker Retzloff, Ryan Ellis, Austin Green all stayed out. Differing strategies we've seen here through the first stage and a half of this race. I did find it interesting, that comment we just heard from Kim Kuhn, though, JT, about when the track rubbers in. This track is not going to rubber in quite so easily here tonight, is it? Because of these cool temperatures. Of course, we talked about that at Bristol, the cool temperatures and what it causes in the concrete at Bristol. Well, the corners are paved with concrete here, and it is very cold. We have just dropped inside of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll be keeping an eye on how the track rubbers in, specifically in the corners.
Yeah, believe it or not, and I'm not a rocket scientist, so you can trust me or not trust me when I say this, but when you run a race at night, it's going to be colder than when you run it in the afternoon. And you can call me Josh Buxton, Will Turner, whatever you want, because that was the most Will Buxton thing I could have ever said.
You know, to pass another car, you have to overtake them.
Oh, wow. Beautiful analysis. Absolutely spectacular. Will Buxton, who, of course, we're stuck
Jesse
with...
Love again penalty.
Oh my goodness. He's going to bottle a championship 4 spot, isn't he?
Jesse, honey.
Get that in the out of context.
Yeah.
Okay, so 27 pitting too soon, 07 and 28 too fast. Jesse Love was equipment interference, and I believe that is all. And I'm going to scroll past that USAC racing because, well, we're not looking at dirt racing tonight, unfortunately. Free pass was Connor Mozak, by the way, who was in 37th at the time of the caution, and I was going to scroll past it, but what is... okay, it's the West... apparently it's the Western World Final for USAC. I just realised... there we go. Let me get rid of that bottom bar for you guys. Yeah. Let's have a look at the equipment interference.
I don't know if I've seen that before.
That is a true facepalm moment, guys.
NASCAR amazing. We've got to clean it up, everybody. We got to clean it up here.
Well, believe it or not, you don't want penalties when you're trying to go for a championship force race. Matthew, you ready to go? Because we're going green.
Carson Quaffle on the front row, along with Christian Eckes and a mouse cursor. Green flag goes up in the air, and we're back racing with 22 laps to go in stage number 2. And it's Quaffle away with the lead. He gets clear of Queen, not Eckes on the front row, thank you, correcting myself. Quaffle to the lead. Queen into the back of him in turn 3. They're side by side behind for third with Alfredo and then Christian Eckes, but it's Quaffle away with the lead, JT. 3 wide further back, Brandon Jones trying to make up places on fresh tires.
Yep, lap 100 of 250. Carson Quaffle, your leader. We've had 30 laps of caution split into 4 and 9 lead changes. It's all getting chaotic in the mid-pack, as you mentioned. We're still 3 wide, but look at the front. Brendan Queen still there in second, but Corey Day getting involved. That's Ryan Sieg in the middle of a 3 wide.
Boy, a lot of 3 wide going on in the middle of this pack, which you don't often see around here, but you are tonight. Sam Mayer pinching Nick Sanchez down to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Mayer running as high up as we've seen him tonight in the top 5. Eric Almirola's to the back bumper of, or to the inside of Sheldon Creed. He's past him. Now he's trying to get around Ryan Ellis. Running order shuffled up here, Jack, with differing strategies, and that's what's creating such chaotic racing on the restart.
Yeah, so comparison to the inside here of Creed. Creed losing. But there's Austin Green. I'm not sure what he's doing so far up the field. Usually a racer in the Trans Am series, but got his first oval win in a, I don't know if you can count it as a NASCAR race, but he won an ARCA race at Charlotte earlier in the year. Here goes Sammy Smith to the inside. That was a very, very, what's the word? Optimistic move. And I'm glad he kind of backed out of that one, because Sammy, I feel like you're smarter than that. I don't think you're particularly smart after the last Martinsville race, but I feel like you're smarter than that.
A moment ago, JT, Jesse Love, after just serving his penalty, had a moment with Takuma Koga. This was under caution, or just after the green, was it?
Yep, Takuma just going up wide. Jesse Love tried to go round the outside, and then of course when Takuma drifted up the circuit, that made Love get a little bit out of position and have to dive down to the inside. That slowed Jesse Love up a little bit, but with already 15 laps to go in stage 2. This is going by very quickly.
Koga wasn't even close to entering that corner on the correct line. I mean, he was so far below the curbing with the left side tires. That was a moment for Love, and frustration builds in the 2 camp. Meanwhile, Sam Mayer has passed Anthony Alfredo to take over 4th. Mayer currently at minus 13 to the cut line. In position to score 7 stage points if he stays where he is on the racetrack, which is 4th. Carson Quaffle, who of course started the day just above the cut line, the current leader, heading towards a stage victory if he can hold on for 13 laps. He's got Brendan Queen behind him 2nd, Eckes 3rd, Mayer 4th, Alfredo 5th. Justin Allgaier Jack still trying to knife his way through traffic in turn 1. He's to the inside of Nick Sanchez. This is for 6th.
Yeah, he's to the inside of Sanchez, who has ruffled up quite a few feathers so far today. Not just today, but across the season. There was an argument between himself and Jesse Love that went absolutely nowhere. I think a conversation with a brick wall could have been more productive in that situation. As Sanchez just has, I'm sorry, but when you're arguing with him, I can understand why Love got annoyed, because he has just the most annoying smile in the world.
Having a conversation with a brick wall could be like having a conversation in American politics. Of course, the government's still shut down. What a wonderful example we're setting. You know what? I think I'm just tired of coming to work. I'm going to stop coming to work for 25 days. But God Almighty, when I'm ready to come back, I better have a job. That would never happen in any other line of work. Anyway, that was your political...
We do have a flyover, though, Matthew, this weekend, because it isn't military.
That was your political update with Matthew on the 9s. Tune in at...
All an embarrassment. Anyway.
Tune in at 8:59 for the next political update. Brandon Jones Still trying to work his way around Anthony Alfredo. They're in turn 1. This is for the 7th position. Jones knocking on the back door. Can't get around Alfredo yet. We're down to 8 to go in this stage. Jones going to dive it in hard. Down to the curbing he goes at turn 3. Gets alongside Alfredo. Field stacks up behind. As Jones in that bright yellow number 20, sponsorship from Dawn, along with Menards this weekend. That's Dawn, D-A-W-N, not Dawn someone's name. Jones moves up to the 7th position.
Down in towards turn 3 we go. Alcalmola up on the inside of Alfredo, clears, but you've got Creed just behind. I was going to comment about all of the government stuff, but at sometimes we can't speak with some of the stuff over here. Down the back straight we go. It's Creed going to go round the outside of Alfredo. He will attempt to do, but he drops back. Single file now, slitzes to the inside, heading down the front straight in towards turn 1. It's currently Quaffle, your leader, Love plus 12 in the standings, Mayer minus 12, Jones, and it changes, Love plus 11, Mayer minus 11, Jones minus 14, Smith minus 22, and Creed minus 46. Don't you just love it when stuff changes as soon as you read it? It's Sammy Smith and Sanchez that is side by side now.
Smith trying to get through Sanchez here. Meanwhile, at the front, Quaffle's lead still healthy at about 4 car lengths on Brendan Queen. This would obviously be just an enormous stage win for Carson Quaffle as he attempts to make the championship 4 as a rookie. Further back, Justin Allgaier and Taylor Gray jousting over the 5th position. Allgaier on the top of the racetrack, Gray to his left elbow in the Toyota Supra for Joe Gibbs Racing. Is Gray, the driver from New Mexico, and he's going to slide through and take over 5th from the driver from Illinois. Riverton, Illinois is Justin Allgaier. Gray moves up into 5th position. 2 to go in the stage. Quaffle, Queen, Eckes, Mayer, and Gray, the top 5. Sheldon Creed at 9th is in position to pick up 2 stage points perhaps if it stays this way. So stage points up for grabs here as the final lap of Stage 2 is underway. And Jones, of course, stage points big for him. He's 7th. He's trying to get around Allgaier. But at the front of the field, it's Carson Quaffle's Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet for JOM. Yeah, we got apparently a car around off of turn 4. No caution. Through the smoke comes Carson Quaffle to the green and white checkered flag. He wins his 2nd stage of the season. Queen, Eckes, Mayer, and Gray, the top 5. Then Allgaier and Jones, followed by Almirola, Creed, and Alfredo. Your points-paying positions in Stage 2 at Martinsville. And we're just about halfway home. 120 laps down, 130 to go. And we've got the final stage coming up to determine who makes the championship race in the Xfinity Series. Jack, big stage there for Quaffle.
Apparently it was Thomas Annunziata who went around and nearly caused a 4-car pile-up. Annunziata is scheduled, from what I know, he is going to be announced in the coming weeks to be driving full-time for Nitro Motorsports next year in the ARCA series. My understanding, that is his plans for next year. He said it on a podcast that he's driving an ARCA full-time next year, which is really good to see. I'm guessing Nitro because he's been with them pretty much his whole career. And I imagine Isabella Robusto is going to join because I don't see where else she'd go.
Isabella Robusto, been in the ARCA series for, what, 2 or 3 years now?
This is her first full season.
Oh, is it her first full season? Okay, very good.
You might be thinking of Tony or... she was in ARCA for a few years before she went to trucks. One thing I'll give credit to Tony, she might not be the fastest driver in the world, but she always brings the truck home usually pretty clean.
Yeah, Ridinger's had a pretty good season. Like you said, she has done well to stay out of trouble.
And Corey LaJoy happened last night.
Oh, yes. JT, normally our Stage 2 conversation is about what's gone on in the racing weekend. Do you have a whole bunch of drivers that I've never heard of in my life that's done something today in England?
Cars go fly there, cars go crash. Oh, look, NASCAR timing screens are down again. That was off topic, but relevant for that. Well, we have something on this weekend, Matthew, you may be familiar with. It's the 36th annual running of the UK Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's the National Saloon Stock Cars have a Super Bowl, and it's their 36th running of that. And well, I am gonna let's go to the timing screen, which actually has started working, believe it or not, and then I'll refresh the others. So in fact, we'll just go to the orbit screen, and Matthew, waffle away.
Okay, very good. I will do something else we do at Stage 2 a lot. I'll give you, especially for you American folk, American listeners, give you an update from the wide world of sports. College football today, plenty of ranked teams in action. Fourth-ranked Alabama has gotten a tough win on the road at South Carolina, 29-22, late touchdown there, getting Alabama the victory. Eighth-ranked Ole Miss defeated Oklahoma on the road in Norman, 34-26. Vanderbilt survived a Hail Mary that came up 1 yard shy of Missouri. Vandy gets the win, 17-10. Texas holds off Mississippi State in overtime, 45-38, big fourth-quarter comeback by the Longhorns to get that victory over a very tough Mississippi State team. Other ranked teams in action today that have gone final. Second-ranked Indiana flattened UCLA 56-6. Georgia Tech ran over Syracuse 41-16. BYU stayed unbeaten with a win over Iowa State on the road, 41-27. Texas Tech blanked Oklahoma State 42-0. Memphis upset South Florida at home, 34-31. Cincinnati doubled up Baylor, 41-20. Washington at home with a 17-point victory over the 23rd-ranked Fighting Illini from Illinois. And in one of the thrilling finishes of the day, 16th-ranked Virginia survived a two-point conversion attempt in overtime to beat North Carolina in Chapel Hill, 17-16. Ranked teams in action now include 6th-ranked Oregon, heavy favorites by 30 points over Wisconsin. The Ducks are only up 7-0 at halftime. Miami also a near 30-point favorite at home against Stanford. The Hurricanes lead 14-7 in the third quarter. Texas A&M has a 14-9 lead in Baton Rouge on LSU. They're in the second quarter. Louisville leads Boston College 14-10 late first half. Michigan leads Michigan State 10-7. They're midway through the second, while Tennessee leads Kentucky 28-7 early in the second quarter. And 24th-ranked Arizona State trail Houston 10-0 early in the second. Thomas Annunziata a moment ago. We talked about the smoke. He blew an engine by the looks of it, or blew something underneath the hood. He slowed up under a plume of smoke out of turn 4. Daniel Dye ran into the back of him. There was a plume of smoke. There was a ball of fire. There was contact from a car into the back of Daniel Dye. Who was that? It was Jeremy Clement.
It
happened in front of Jeffy Love. My goodness.
There is gear fluid around the circuit, so we could be in for an extended caution.
Oh, yeah.
Which gives us enough time to do the thing we want to do, and chat have, I say chat have, two people have decided that we should see if it messes up the behind-the-scenes production clock when the clocks go back in 2 minutes' time.
Oh, and by the way, Bob, in the comments, does add on to the college football update that his Hawkeyes from Iowa trounced Minnesota. It's a good word, trounced. 41-3. The Hawkeyes got the win. Now, JT.
Yes?
You were in a group chat that often includes random college football trophies.
Is this one of them?
Yes, Iowa with the win over Minnesota. That is a trophy game.
Please
Iowa
share.
claiming the Floyd of Rosedale trophy today. The trophy of the Big Pig.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
I believe you have sent me that one before.
Yes, one of the oldest rivalries in the Big Ten. They first played back in 1891. Contrary to popular belief, I was not on the call of that 1891 game.
Oh, you're not?
The Hawkeyes and the Golden Gophers. Yes, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, or as many people call them, the Golden Rodents.
Right, I'm going to hope for the best and if it doesn't work, then I have added it to Battle 2, just in case. But I'm going to go to a screen which I've never gone to on a live stream so much that I can't use my Stream Deck systems to control it. That is how niche of a scene it is.
Ooh,
and
another good word.
I have muted everything, so hopefully you can only hear the voices and you don't hear everything that happens. It is a lot of clocks. There's even a clock which is 0000, but let's see if it messes up, I guess.
Oh, this is exciting. This is the most exciting thing that's happened tonight.
It separated the clocks by 2 seconds. They are out of sync by 2 seconds. I was hoping for a lot more chaos than that. Anyway, 124 laps to go. Oh, believe it or not, the timing screens have crashed again.
Believe it or not, she's walking on air.
What is it with these timing screens and crashing?
It's the second time I've playing that tonight.
So, even though it does say 126, we are on 130. So, hopefully, when I refresh them again, they will actually start to catch up with each other. And I do apologise to the members that are watching along behind the scenes that have to disappear every single time I want to put stuff in. But there we go. And it's back at 131. Will it stay with 131?
What?
Hopefully.
I just read something mental. Apparently Alfredo's on the same tyres he started the race with.
God, yeah. And he's that far up front.
I'm as confused as you.
Tire whisperer. Old fast pasta.
Speaking of him, with no one going to with him out at DGM next year, to my knowledge, from what one person, a certain account tweeted out on Twitter, from what I can tell, he has a ride for next year, Ryan Ellis.
Wait, I've always thought Anthony Alfredo from Ridgefield, Connecticut. I've always thought he's a fine driver.
Oh no, Anthony, absolutely. I'd be surprised if he's not on the grid next year. He's Hendrick's simulator driver, you know.
Yeah, he's
that's his role.
he could really be a good driver. I do think if he could just find someone that believes in him and puts everything behind him.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to bring this up because, you know, I am a broadcasting and sports media guru. I love the industry of sports media. Do you know that this is the second straight night that a Martinsville race has been broadcast by the network remotely from a Charlotte studio?
I saw your tweet about this.
Yes, because, you know, the long and arduous trek from Charlotte, North Carolina to Martinsville, Virginia of, I don't know, like 90 minutes. It's just too much to send the booth to the track. Let's go to pit road. JT, leader Carson Quaffles in.
2 hours, 16 minutes.
This entire race so tight, in fact, he can't get the car pointed how he wants it. So Andrew Overstreet, the crew chief, said we're going to do a major chassis adjustment. You see the wrench going in the back of the race car right there. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. Brendan Queen on the right side of your screen. He said it just snapped free all of a sudden. I did not have enough right rear security. They did make an air pressure adjustment to correct that.
You know, it's how long it takes to get from Charlotte, North Carolina to Martinsville, Virginia. And I love how it has on the bottom of Google Maps, this route includes motorway. A motorway? What's that? I think you mean Google. Interstate.
Did you say 2 hours and 16 minutes?
Yes.
See, now I feel like I could make it in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Half hour,
If anyone from a certain police department is listening, your man is here.
Of course, I often don't make the trip from Charlotte to Martinsville because Charlotte is in the southernmost part of this great state that I live in. But I'm actually Charlotte would not be considered my quote-unquote home track. Neither would North Wilkesboro, which is in North Carolina.
Bowman.
Really, it would be
Bowman
if
Gray?
you're not counting Bowman Gray. If you're not counting Bowman Gray, which I guess you could at this point, if you're not counting that, it would be Martinsville. I am much closer to Martinsville than I am Charlotte or North Wilkesboro. Martinsville just over the state line. I mean, I could make it there from where I'm sitting now in half an hour. But, you know, instead of going to these races, I choose to be a part of these Chuckle Hut broadcasts with you guys because I have so much love in my heart.
You're so kind, Matthew. You're so nice.
I try. I try every day. And the silence is deafening.
Matthew Owen.
We are really getting a lot of out-of-context clips out of this broadcast.
Good news.
Okay.
The Dacia Sandero. I mean, 114 laps to
delayed.
go. And the NASCAR timing screen is keeping up.
Oh no. Anyway.
We are one to go.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh dear me. Yes, taking one to go, mercifully.
We have lost the will to live.
Yes, we sure have. And we don't. I don't even change clocks tonight.
I am giving up my extra hour that I could have gotten in bed for this.
And listen to me. Read my lips. On the night that we change clocks back over here, I don't miss it. I want that extra hour of sleep, Banya. Let me tell you, you wouldn't be able to wake me up.
Pace car truck has to go to the rear for a commitment line violation.
Field coming to the green flag. We'll get the final stage under green with Sam Mayer and Taylor Gray on the front row. Green flag goes in the air. Final stage at Martinsville underway with just north of 100 laps to go. Mayer on the inside gets the whole shot. He'll get the bite off of turn 2 to pull ahead of Taylor Gray. Gray fights back top side, but it's Mayer's Ford, a nose in front in 3. Row 2 is Justin Allgaier and Brandon Jones. Now Mayer pulls ahead. He'll lead the way to the start-finish line. Gray falls in line second through the dust of the speedy dry applied to the front straightaway during that lengthy yellow. Mayer, Gray, Allgaier, Jones, Almirola, that's the top 5. Sheldon Creed and Sammy Smith trying to make up places as Mayer gets loose in turn 4, hangs on to it, JT. Battle for second is on behind.
And they are still side by side for second. It's Allgaier and Gray back to the mid-pack. Brandon Jones and Creed getting involved a couple of rows back. Also, I can see Patrick Starpoli getting involved, but back with the battle for second. Creed has overtaken Harrison Burton around the outside, and now he's going to look for Brandon Jones around the outside.
All of these playoff drivers towards the front of the first 8 positions on the racetrack. 5 are held by playoff drivers. Sam Mayer looking to win his way into the championship race. In the live standings, with Mayer leading the race, he would be in, and Jesse Love would have the final spot by 20 points. He is plus 20 to Quaffle and Jones in the live standings, but that's all because Mayer is the leader of the race. He's 1 second up on Gray. Allgaier is still third. Almirola is fourth. Brandon Jones is 5th. Creed is 7th. Smith is 8th. And Jesse Love still stuck in so much traffic after 2 pit road penalties. He's outside the top 20 is Jesse Love. Oh boy, hasn't gone well for him tonight. What about Carson Quaffle? Where's he at, JT? He's 24th.
Yep, back down in towards 24th. Now back with the leaders, and that is out is the 54 of Gray. He touched the bumper of the car in front of him. That unsettled him, and he drops down the order and down to Brandon Jones.
Yeah, Gray went really hard into turn 1. Locked up the brakes again. Seen that a lot tonight. Pretty easy to do, especially on a cold night like this. Trying to stay off the bumper of Allgaier. Jack just locked it up, and he lost, what, 3 positions, I think it was?
Yeah, just a rare error there from Taylor Gray. That's all I've really got. Also, DGM just clarified about Ryan Ellis that it was his decision to leave, not the team.
Okay.
That tells me he's got a ride for next year.
You would certainly think so. He's made that decision. Whoop, turn 3. Ryan Sieg stuffing it in to the inside of Sammy Smith. This is for 6 JT. Door handle to door handle as they cross the start-finish line and go back to 1.
Down the inside, Ryan Sieg gets that position and he clears him by a car length already as we head down the back straight in towards turn 3. Here comes Harrison Burton. It's Love plus 21, Jones minus 21, Quaffle minus 22, Smith minus 25, and Creed minus 54.
Creed in the must-win, currently runs 9th. Feels like Smith is now in a must-win. He's 7th. But again, all of this could change, would change if Sam Mayer were to lose the lead. But he's the leader, and that's what changes the cut line in the live standings. Meanwhile, further back, and I do mean well further back, outside the top 20, Carson Quaffle and Jesse Love jousting over the 21st position. Quaffle, who's on fresh tires after pitting under the yellow after winning stage 2, he gets by Love, and now he's going to go quickly after Christian Eckes. Quaffle making these fresh tires work for him right now, JT. Quickly past Love, quickly past Eckes.
Yep, and now we jump on board looking back at the 4 of Vetzlav. We're on board with the 2 of Jesse Love, currently in the 23rd position, and Parker Vetzlav on his inside. Also, Vetzlav got the 71 on his outside. Back in front, it's Sam Mayer who leads by a second.
One of the storylines every year, it seems, when we come to Martinsville for the cutoff race in the Cup Series is that there's always a playoff team. Wow, we are 3 wide down the back straightaway and making contact with Daniel Dye and Anthony Alfredo. All of this happening right in front of Quaffle, who now puts the bumper to the back of Dye. Dye on the curb. He checks up Quaffle. Eckes tries to slice it 3 wide. Quaffle's between these 2 Collick cars going to 1. This is not a situation that Carson Quaffle wants to be in right now, JT, but he's in it, and somehow he survived it.
Yep, he survives it for now. Very slow car coming down pit road. I believe that was Takuma Koga in that 35 car down into pit road. Here is a replay of that 3 wide moment, and he was so off the pace, was Daniel Dye, in that 10, and well, Quaffle pushing the 10 in towards the 42. That unsettled the 10 in that sandwich moment, and then he got in that 3 wide with Eckes.
Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier has just lost positions, 2 of them. Eric Almirola and Taylor Gray have both just gone by Allgaier, and Brandon Jones is trying to do the same. There's Allgaier off of turn 4. He will get in line in front of Jones behind Gray, but that's Allgaier from 2nd to 4th. Brandon Jones in line behind him 5th, but Sam Mayer, Jack, setting his own pace at the front of this field, a 2nd and a quarter ahead of Almirola. It's looking good right now for Mayer with under 100 laps to go.
Yeah, Mayer doing good here. I don't know if he's won at Martinsville before, but I do know he's had a fight with someone at Martinsville before.
Who hasn't had a fight with someone at Martinsville?
Me.
That's a good question. Brad Perez, there we go. Can't imagine Brad ever getting in a fight though, so
no,
he just
can't
seems
imagine.
like too nice of a guy.
And to answer your question, Mayer has not won here, but he was 2nd here in the spring of 2024 while driving with JRM. He was 5th here in the spring, his only race here with the team he currently runs with, the Haas Factory team. Let's pick up Quaffle again in the middle of the field, JT. He's up to 19th, and he's pounding on the back door, trying to take 18th away from Alfredo. Here's Quaffle in turn 3, trying to root Alfredo up off the bottom. Can't do it. Alfredo's been strong tonight, JT. Quaffle can't get through for now.
He has been strong, but now down in towards turn 2. Down the back stretch we go, making a move in front of these two. They're side by side. I believe that was the 11 car of Brendan Queen. Yes, it was, but back with Quaffle. Queen still side by side. Quaffle going down the inside.
Queen trying to get around Brennan Poole for the 16th position. Blaine Perkins just ahead of those two. Quaffle's finally opened the door to the inside of Alfredo, now trying to run through that door and move up another position. What I was just about to queue up a moment ago before we had chaos happen, as Quaffle's going to get by Alfredo here, is it feels like every year when we come to Martinsville for the elimination race in the playoffs in the Cup Series, Jack, a big playoff driver misses the setup. Remember it was Kevin Harvick in 2020. It was William Byron a couple years ago. Last year it was Christopher Bell. Jesse Love's team has obviously missed something tonight. Love mired back in 29th, and he just cannot move forward.
I mean, we had Lane Riggs in the truck race last night.
Yeah.
Missed the champ for. Here goes Amarola to the inside of Sam Mayer. Amarola's been one of the fastest cars all day, but you know who else has? Taylor Gray has got some speed in this late stage in the race. He was leading going into turn 3 in the Martinsville race earlier in the year. Unfortunately, Sammy Smith happened, and that took him out of it. Or it could have been a chance to earn his first ever NASCAR victory. Maybe he can do it tonight.
Yeah, remember, I just mentioned how Mayer had a lead of 1.25 seconds. Well, that lead is absolutely gone now, JT. Almirola and Gray chomped into it quickly, and now Mayer's back in third.
Yep, Sam Mayer dropped down, but it's Almirola and Gray looks like he's trying to get past Almirola with 86 laps to go. Gray tries to go round the outside line and then stays in Almirola's slipstream. 54's looking to pounce.
Taylor Gray, who, well, Jack just mentioned how close he was here in the spring. He was second to Daniel Suarez in Mexico City. Had a really good rookie season, made the playoffs, was eliminated in the round of 12 after a wild finish at the Roval. But here he is, looking at the back bumper of his teammate Eric Almirola, a first win in NASCAR Xfinity Series competition, certainly in the cards for the driver from New Mexico. Here come the leaders across the start-finish line. 165 laps up on the board. Still 85 to go here at this half-mile paperclip. Sam Mayer has fallen 1+ seconds in the rear of these two. He's holding off Allgaier, who's fourth, and Ryan Sieg having a typical Ryan Sieg kind of a run tonight in the 5th position. We have not had, JT, long enough green flag runs so far tonight for the leaders to catch up to the rear of the field and get mired in some lap traffic, which always does make a difference here. It looks like the leaders aren't too far away from catching that lap traffic. We'll catch up to that in a moment. Real quick, as Sam Mayer has lost the lead, I want to give you an updated look at the live playoff standings. It's changed with him losing the lead. It's now Love plus 11, Quaffle plus 5, Mayer minus 5, Jones minus 8, Smith minus 11. So, JT, that means it's only 22 points from 3rd to 7th in the live standings now that Mayer has lost the lead. That's how quickly and drastically it can change.
Yep, and that is just the NASCAR playoff system, whether you like it or not. But going back to the long green flag runs, to that I say no comment, because yesterday when in the trucks when I mentioned a long green flag run and that we've not had a caution in a while, we instantly cut to a spun car and the yellow went out.
Kept the car clean, but they have not kept clean is pit road. They had a speeding penalty, equipment interference that has put them considerably far back in terms of track position. Now they have kept their heads under control. There's been no major blowups on the radio. Right now, though, crew chief Danny Stockman just telling him to wrap the bottom as best he can. Jesse not liking the handling of his race car.
It has been a difficult night for Jesse Love, trying to just survive here and get to the championship round. Meanwhile, for the lead of the motor race, in turn 3, Taylor Gray took a dive to the inside of Almirola. There was a bit of contact in the center of the corner, and by the time they get back to turn 1, they are wheel to wheel. Taylor Gray on the inside. Eric Almirola on the outside. More contact down the back straightaway between these two teammates. Gray sharpens up the elbows looking for his first career win. Almirola trying to get win number 4 on the season. This is good stuff, JT, under braking to 1.
Down the inside, Taylor Gray goes their side-by-side exit of turn 2. Down the back straight we go. Almirola just has his nose ahead, but going in towards turn 3. Here comes Gray up the inside. They are head to tail, nose to nose, side by side. 90 thousandths of a second. Almirola was in front by, still side by side. Gray giving him a little bump. Proper stock car racing that you see in the UK, let alone the US. Down in towards turn 3, and it's still Almirola just keeping his nose in front on the outside line.
Jack, we talked earlier about the aggressive nature of Almirola this year. How about Taylor Gray being aggressive right back at his teammate? Gray wants this lead. Gray wants this win. Gray wants the redemption from the spring.
And I'm going to be honest with Gray. I don't expect aggression from him, but I think he's racing Eric as he thinks Eric could race him, in all honesty. Gray is probably one of the cleanest drivers on the racetrack, you got to remember.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, yeah, he did. Almirola keeps the lead. JT, we've got 75 laps to go in this race. Almirola still leads. Gray going to try to peek back to his inside. 74 to go now as they cross the line. I'm going to leave you in the hands of JT and Jack for a bit.
Thank you, Matthew, and hopefully my microphone plays ball with...
Something's got to be wrong with that number 2 car.
Yeah.
She's dropping back like an absolute rock.
Dropping down the order. He was in 32nd. He's now showing as still 32nd. And now, but you've got Love in front of Almirola now. The first car, well, the next car to go a lap down. Currently lapping the 45 as they cross the line once more. Almirola has cleared, and we've got brake fire on the right of the 51, Jeremy Clements. So down into pit road and safe. He'll go behind the wall with a fire under the right front of his car. And here comes Almirola getting ready to lap Jesse Love.
He's still in by 6 points, I think, Jesse Love, as it stands.
Yep. And
getting ready for the bump.
Yep. It's Love.
Oh, here goes Taylor Gray. Oh.
Love +9, Quaffle +6, Mayer -6, Jones -9, Smith -12, Creed -42, Gray on the inside of Love, and both 2 lead cars have now just lapped that 2-wheeling car of Jesse Love. Jesse Love officially a lap down. Here we go down the back straight in towards turn 3, and Eric Almirola and Taylor Gray bumper to bumper battling for the lead as we now start 68 to go. In towards turn 3 we go one more time, and it's Taylor Gray still trying to chase down Eric Almirola, and these two, they are 4 seconds ahead of anyone else. It's Mayer who is 4.6 seconds back behind the leader, 4.4 seconds now behind the leader. But here comes Gray down the inside. He tried to get his nose in front, wasn't able to. On board with Jesse Love, looking to these battle as Gray just trying to get up the inside, isn't able to, stays in the number 19 car's slipstream. Now down the front straight in towards turn 1 we go one more time. Gray gets his nose to the rear left side of Almirola, gives him a little nudge, doesn't unsettle the 19 car. 54 of Gray down to the inside now alongside the number 19, but the 19 gets a better exit and gets a little contact with the 54. It's Almirola still leading. Taylor Gray trying to switch back manoeuvre again. They are bumping all the way round this speedway as they go side by side. Gray commanding the bottom line, pushing Almirola wide, but Almirola still managed to keep the lead as we head now down in towards turn 1 once again. Gray tries to nudge Almirola out wide, isn't successful in doing so as they go single file down the back straight, but Gray will go to the inside line once again as he has done every single lap. Gives him a proper door bang this time, does Taylor Gray, to try and unsettle that number 19 car down in towards turn 1. Will he give him another little bit of a nudge to the side?
Yeah,
it's very close, Al.
Oh, goodness me. Taylor Gray's style of racing, it's really refreshing, but also really frustrating. Because you know he could just move him out the way, don't you? He absolutely could. But he just chooses not to, and I have to really respect that about him.
Now down in towards turn 3 once again. Gray now fully alongside the 19 car. Command Blue given to the 10 of Daniel Dye, who is in front of these two, which he could get in the way a little bit, but the Command Blue has been given, and we've just had one signal get ahead of Sam Mayer, so Sam Mayer down to 4th. That means it's Quaffle +7, Mayer -7 around the cut line. Now Gray fully alongside Almirola once again. He'll go to his inside, he'll try and get past. They are side by side down in towards turn 1 and turn 2. Daniel Dye continuing to get in the way. Here comes the 19 of Almirola down in towards turn 1. Exit of turn 2 we go, and it's still Almirola in the lead. Taylor Gray in second. They've lapped that 10 car of Daniel Dye. Taylor Gray going to give him a little nudge through turn 3. He attempted to, wasn't close enough. Down in towards turn 1 we go. He looks around the outside, does Gray. He goes to the inside, gives him a little nudge. Caution is out as we've got Williams is, well, it looks like his car's blown up in towards turn 4. That is just tight. Oh, it's the big one. There's cars everywhere. You've got Brendan Queen, you've got the 44 involved. Gray just scraped through as he was going under caution.
Day was in there too.
Corey Day was in there. Connor Zillage has got damaged. Connor Zillage, his front is messed up. Let's have a look. We've got the big one here at Martinsville, and it was caused by the 44 getting to the 11, who nudged into the 45. That was Queen, Day, Zillage involved, Paul, but synchronized spin for the 11 and 45, and a big cloud of smoke. But the big one at Martinsville, and you don't normally see a, well, not a multi-car pile-up like that. You normally see him down the straights if you see him anywhere here at Martinsville.
Oh.
But under caution. Go on.
I just wanted to say, I like Brandon Poole, but I can't really defend him on that one. In all honesty. I can't really defend him. Also, according to the math by legendary journalist Bob Pockruss, who, by the way, shares my birthday, just to let you know, which I think is the coolest NASCAR thing ever. Bob Pockruss said, by his maths, Jesse Love is in on points currently. The only way he could physically get eliminated is if someone below the cutoff wins.
Yep, and he's now updated that, saying no one can catch Love except Quaffle on points. Only
But he's
way
already
he
above.
is eliminated is if Smith, Jones, Mayer, or Creed wins. But yeah. So we've got right front damage for Zillage. Day and Queen also involved. Paul and Williams. We've got a multi-car pile-up, and we'll see if we have a free pass. And it is Daniel Dye, which means Jesse Love will stay a lap down, which is not what he wants. Leaders are coming to pit road. Let's get ready to head down trackside.
Eric Almirola first one in, top of the screen, said he can't be looser into the corner, but he needs some center roll to help him wrap the curve. They'll make an adjustment for that. Sam Mayer wanted half of their last air pressure adjustment back that they made all the way back at the end of stage 2. And Taylor Gray, pretty happy with his car. Biggest message from Jason Ratcliffe, the crew chief: don't beat ourselves on pit road. Do not speed, Kim.
See Justin Allgaier, bottom of your screen, all the way towards the exit of pit road is where his pit box is. Tight 2/3 mark of the corner he was reporting, but he said loose his rear lateral. So Jim Pullman's going to free him up with an air pressure adjustment. He also mentioned a chassis adjustment. You just saw that. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel.
And here's the race off Progressive Pit Road. Taylor Gray jumps in front of Eric Almirola. A couple of cars did stay out. Bonsignor comes off up there as well. So we'll sort through where everybody's going to restart. And watch this. Carson Kvapil trying to hang on for a playoff, a spot in the championship 4, and nearly gets involved in this crash. Caution number 6 out is Martinsville. Restart when we return.
So, under caution then for the 6th time, as just was mentioned. We'll get the order back, and I believe we have got a penalty, yes, and it is for the 28, and that is for Carl Sieg for too fast on pit road. They are having problems with Jesse Love, and it was the rear left tyre they couldn't get off that 2 machine, so it goes from bad to worse to absolutely terrible for that 2 team. Also a penalty for the 44 of Brennan Poole over the wall at too soon. They were involved in that multi-car pile-up. But we'll reset the order, get them doubled up when we are able to, and get restarted in the IAA and Richie Rose 250 here at Martinsville Speedway. Official list of cars involved has been published. It's Josh Williams, Brennan Poole, Corey Day, Brendan Butterbean Queen, and Connor Zilic. And, well, that, talking about Butterbean Queen, that is a very damaged 11 car for Brendan. And hopefully that is in a safe place, but that is a very, very messed up car. He was out on track, but he's made it down in towards pit road on turn 3. Suspension is all messed up. Even the axle looks a little bit out of place on the rear of that car. He's crabbing all over the place, that 11 car. Such a shame, because Jack, he was having such a good day, was the 11 car.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get more chances at getting a grandfather clock next year. Obviously, running full-time with Colleague in the Truck Series. I would expect Ekes and Dye to join him, because I don't think Colleague are going to be running an Xfinity team next year. I just don't see it happening. Especially with how uncompetitive the team has realistically become outside of a couple of drivers. I'm interested to see who the other 2 Colleague trucks actually are. My current guesses are Tony and Grant. They're my 2 guesses, but we'll see where they end up.
So, inside now, 50 laps to go here at Martinsville under the lights, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag running. We are doubling up. The choose underway. So heading down the back straight we go into turns 3 and 4. In towards the restart zone, and it's green flag back out with 49 laps to go. In towards turn 1, it's Sanchez on your inside, Gray on the outside of row 1. That is a slow Bonsignor, I do believe, didn't get going. As we head now down, Perez also didn't get going. Your top 3 is Gray, then Sanchez, then Almirola. Brad Perez right out wide, gets into the 7, and there is contact. It's just an Allgaier who got in the middle of that and probably came worse off because of that slow 0-7 car, but we'll go back to battle screen with all of the relevant information so you can keep updated. It's lap 204 of 250. Your leader is Taylor Gray. We've had 6 cautions for 54 laps and 14 lead changes. Your highest playoff car, Brandon Jones, in the 4th position. Then Sammy Smith, well, Brandon Jones now moving up to the 3rd position. He's just passed Nick Sanchez. There is the 3 wide moment and the contact with Brad Perez knocking Allgaier into the 71 car, I do believe that was, and knocking him out. Yes, it was. Now Corey Day getting involved with said 71 car. He's up the inside, the 17 and the 71. Ryan Ellis down in towards turn 1. That's Austin Hill up the inside of Ellis now.
All going on.
Hello, Matthew.
At that moment, yes. Hello. As Jeb gets into the back of Sam Mayer. Jeb told us earlier. Yeah, Jeb told us earlier that he was not going to let Sam get away with what he thought was a wrongdoing earlier, and he's racing this playoff driver hard. This is for what, 8th position, and Burton is roughing up Mayer. He's gotten to his inside. Carson Quaffel's going to try to follow him through. Wow. Burton with some smoke developing with sheet metal running in on the tire there at the left front, but he's been able to run up through the field, move to 8th. Mayer backslides to 9th. Quaffel wanted to try to shoot to the inside of Mayer in 3, doesn't. Ryan Sieg and Harrison Burton all right here too. This is all happening as here's Quaffel hard under braking to 1 to the back bumper of Mayer. He gives him a bump. Mayer holds station on the bottom of the racetrack. Live standings, Quaffel plus 12, Love plus 9, Jones minus 9, Smith minus 12, Mayer minus 15 at the front. Gray, Almirola, and Jones are nose to tail. That's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They're all teammates. Would we see the teammates, JT, work together to try to get Brandon Jones the win to send him to the championship?
It's Martinsville, and I think Martinsville is everyone for themselves. But welcome.
Happened last year.
Yeah, welcome back, Matthew. It's not like you missed much or anything. There definitely wasn't the big one with Zillage, Paul, Josh Williams, Butterbean, and Corey Day creating a parking lot in turn 4. That definitely didn't happen.
Brennan Poole out of the race.
Shame for Brennan. As Carson Quaffel to the back of Sam Mayer again in turn 4. Gave him a bump, couldn't get him off the bottom. Mayer stays 9th. And Sammy Smith, currently below the cut line by 12 points, is starting to range up to those top 3 Gibbs Toyotas. This is all bubbling up nicely as the leaders cross the line for 37 laps to go.
So,
Still, Joe in the comments says, so what do we do if Creed wins the race today, then wins the championship? And
we
then Bob
realise how bad the playoff system actually is if Connor Zillage
But
does
it's
not get the
Sheldon
championship.
Creed. He accepts it.
I mean, true.
Listen, we're heading towards 2 nightmare scenarios for a number of people next week. If Corey Heim and Connor Zillage somehow don't win their respective championships, people are going to riot. I mean, Heim has won, 11 races now? And
yeah.
Zillage has won, I think, 10?
Yep.
Anyway, Sam Mayer Trying to get around Nick Sanchez for 8th. Mayer loose off of turn 2 as he pulls up alongside Sanchez. At the back door is Quaffle in the thick of things, but it looks like Mayer might make this pass on Sanchez. That'll gain him a point. He'll get to minus 14. If Quaffle can make the pass on Sanchez, he'd move up to plus 13 in the live standings. Ryan Sieg, Harrison Burton, and Austin Hill are all right here, huddled up behind Quaffle and Sanchez. Dean Thompson's in here. Justin Allgaier's in here. They're all bunched up. Meanwhile, at the front, still Gray from Almirola, from Jones, from Smith. Bonsignor up to 5th, highest up he's been all night.
I've just realised something. We are dangerously close to JGR taking all 4 spots. If Smith wins, then not JGR, JRM, my bad, too many J's. They would lock out the entire championship 4.
Yeah, they would. And they, of course, and we got around in turn 2. Yellow is out.
Someone else. No, not Brad Perez.
Oh, and Parker. Oh, man.
So Brad Perez have spun of trying to avoid that.
All right,
stuck on the inside.
Spun Brad out?
So another yellow. And that will reset things one more time here. It'll be under 30 to go by the time we go back green. Who pits, who doesn't, is the question.
Jesse Love free pass.
First off, let's see what happened here to Retzlaff. Running.
Don't tell me.
Yeah. Retzlaff trying to make a pass on Eckes, got turned by Alfredo. And Brad Perez getting turned off the nose of Blaine Perkins in avoidance.
Not quite sure what Alfredo was doing there, in all honesty. Why Blaine, man? What did Brad Perez do?
Retzlaff trying to wheel flick it back around, nearly hit it in.
Bro, honestly, man. Yeah, Alpha Prime Racing's Twitter said it how it is. Parker gets dumped by the 42 and loses a lap.
Yeah, he did lose a lap. And confirmation of what JT told us, Jesse Love does get the free pass. That's big for him as he gets back on the lead lap. He could gain some positions and more points to try to give him a bigger cushion to that cut line. But you are absolutely right about that, Jack, that JRM could have all 4 of the Championship 4 positions, just as JGR could have 3 of the 4 in the Cup Series. Briscoe and Hamlin already in, and Bell currently 37 points above the cut line going to tomorrow. And speaking of the NASCAR Cup Series here at Martinsville, the Xfinity 500 on USRN and JBM tomorrow.
Is that as fast as Xfinity Mobile?
Might be.
No, it's not.
1:30 p.m.
Internet.
USRN, yes. 1:30 Eastern on USRN for tomorrow's Martinsville Madness. The final elimination race to set the field for the championship race. Hope you'll join us. I have absolutely no idea what the current plan is for JRM. For JBM. That'll be decided. Well, just tune in and you'll find out what the situation will be.
JBM sponsoring JRM incoming.
Well, I know for tomorrow, I'm producing. JB's taking stage 1, and then he leaves to cover F1. Then I don't know what's happening after that. I don't know if I'm joining.
I'm
teams
sticking
with
around
you.
in cut.
But yeah, we need to work that out. For Phoenix, I only know that there's a 2-hour pre-show.
What?
Yes, 2 hours. Guess who is doing most of that for most of the prep for the 2-hour pre-show?
You.
Oh, I
Hello.
understand that. I think our pre-race will be fairly close to that. And, yeah, be putting that together during the week. It will be a very big week of producing things this week for yours truly, and you just know how much I love
it again.
I mean,
editing.
I could if I wanted to give a little bit of a sneak preview, and that sneak preview is something that I sent to Matthew. Matthew, you are multiplying.
And again,
he's clinched his spot into the championship race at Phoenix. Into the championship race at Phoenix.
Ooh, tension building. Wow.
that's a very scary thought for many that I could be multiplying. All right, just got
more
one
than
to...
enough.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think one is far more than enough. Yes, it is. All right, Phil just took the choose and the one to go. Restart will come with 25 laps to go. Taylor Gray and Eric Almirola will be the front row. Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith will be row 2. Remember, Smith and Gray were the two that had the fisticuffs after the race here in the spring when Smith went into turn 3 on the last lap and harpooned Gray out of the way. Those two are first and fourth. Gray still looking for his first win. Smith looking for a trip to the championship race. So too is Jones. Here we go to the restart zone. 25 laps to go as we get the green flag and Gray takes off. Almirola from the outside of row 2 does not get a good restart. Gray is clear to the lead. Brandon Jones side by side with Almirola. It would be very imperative for Jones to make this pass on Almirola as quickly as he can, JT, so he has as many laps as possible to try to track down Gray. Jones needs to win to make it to Phoenix. Sammy Smith needs to as well, and Smith is going to make a dive on Jones into 1 for third.
And he does make that dive. He's side by side, exit of turn 2, down the back straight we go. It's 3 wide with Creed on the inside. There's a car spun, and it's Carson Quaffle, Matthew.
Oh, Carson Quaffle just above the cut line is spun. Caution is out. How many positions and points did he just lose? He was 12 points above the cut line at the live standings before the spin. And he's just dropped below the cut line. He's just dropped below the cut line. He was plus 12. He's now below the cut line by 7. Oh my goodness. Brandon Jones moves above the cut line as the result of this spin. Oh yeah, Ryan Sieg overcooked it into 3 and just booted him around.
Looked like he tried to get out of that, and then Burton just finished the job.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sieg overcooks it, Burton finishes the job.
What an incredible turn of events on the restart for Carson Quaffle. From above the cut line to below it in the beat of a heart. And Brandon Jones now above the cut line by 3 points. It's Love plus 15, Jones plus 3, Smith minus 3, Mayer minus 4, Quaffle minus 8. It's 11 points separating 4th to 7th right now in the live standings as we work this caution. Incredible.
I've just seen, while we're under caution, and it's probably time for our final random information of the day, I've just seen that Cletus McFarland entered BattleBots today and won.
What? Okay.
You are welcome for that vital random information which I knew you absolutely loved with that silence that followed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, your free pass, Parker Vetzlav in 31st.
Oh boy. Carson Quaffle will restart 30th. The good news for Quaffle, Jack, is he's 7 points below the cut line. He'll have all of those cars right in front of him that he can go after and just try knocking them down one by one and make up 8 positions is what he needs. But he also doesn't need Brandon Jones or Sammy Smith winning.
Yeah, and Jordan Bianchi has made a good point. Quaffle is out of fresh tyres, Matthew. He's got what he's got.
He's done.
I was just about to say, I was surprised that they didn't pit him, and that would be why. They're out of tire.
The radio. TJ Majors said 39 had help from the 25. Carson Quaffle sounds about right.
Now, I was going to say, I do hope, and I know this is hard to make happen in this kind of situation, but I do hope cooler heads prevail on that, because Ryan Sieg is one of the cleanest drivers you'll see. Certainly didn't do that purposefully.
Yeah, neither did Harrison, though.
No, no, not at all.
Just too aggressive too early. They've that kind of move for the final lap.
With 19 laps to go, I think it is a good time to have our NASCAR Chasm mention of the broadcast as we take one to go. You know how around 20 minutes ago we were talking about Bob Pockrass's math? NASCAR Chasm, I am so grateful that rather than keeping up with an ever-changing point situation, we can just ask Bob GPT.
Bob also said about Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith, who line up behind each other on the restart. Not like they have any history here or anything.
Well, it was the harpoon shot heard around the world here in the spring. Smith into the back of Gray, and they are now lined up nose to tail on the inside row. Outside is Almirola and Jones. Row 3 is Creed with Creed with Mayer. Huh, both of those teammates need to win. Well, this might get big and ugly right here, boys. Here we go. Restart coming with 17 to go. It's all on the line in Martinsville. Green flag in the air. Gray got a great restart last time. This time not as good. He still has a nose in front of Almirola by the time they arrive in turn 1. Gray exits turn 2. He is clear to the lead, but they're side by side at second as Sammy Smith tries to get around Eric Almirola and set sights at Taylor Gray. 16 to go. It's all on the line. Brandon Jones makes a big dive to get to the inside, but Sheldon Creed moves him. Creed moves Jones up the track. Creed got bogged down on the exit of the corner. Jones holds the spot. Trying to keep you updated with things as much as we can.
41 next to each other. Watch out for them, all right?
That's Mayer and Burton as Smith goes after Almirola for second. 15 to go, and Smith is through. Smith goes to second, and now he is in a tie with Jones for the final transfer spot. And with Smith running second, he would win the tiebreaker if he finishes there. 14 to go, JT.
Absolute chaos as my mic then decides to actually pick up and work for once. Down the back straight we go, in towards turn 3. Gray, Smith, Almirola, Jones, all the top 4 bumper to bumper as we look at Creed and Mayer, who are also battling out behind these 4.
Creed is minus 29. He has to win. His teammate Mayer, though, is minus 2. If Mayer can just pick up a couple of positions, he could be in the championship 4 as Gray brings the leaders off of 4 and back to the line. 12 laps to go. The top 6 are all nose to tail, and 4 of them are playoff drivers. Meanwhile, Carson Quaffle back in the pack after that spin, trying to pick off positions, trying to pick off points. He's just passed Jesse Love. Quaffle is now minus 2. He's picked up 5 spots on the restart, Quaffle. They're 3 wide in front of him. Austin Green, Blaine Perkins, and Christian Eckes are 3 wide.
Almirola.
Austin Green just got shoved up the racetrack by Eckes. Quaffle passed them both. Quaffle makes 2 passes in 1 corner further back. It's all happening with 10 laps to go now, JT.
Down in towards turn 1 we go. Brandon Jones moves up to 3rd. He will go after Sammy Smith as it stands. Quaffle +0, Jones -0. Brandon Jones wants to get past Sammy Smith. He'll have to get past Sammy Smith here. 9 laps to go as he crossed the line.
And in the live standings, a tie between Quaffle and Jones now for the final spot as Quaffle is still picking up position. Now he muscles his way around Kyle Sieg and Daniel Dye. Quaffle passes Dye and Sieg in turn 2, and now is 2 points above the cut line. Quaffle's made it back above the cut line, and he's got more cars in front of him he can pass, Jack. He's got Staropoli in front of him. He's got Alfredo in front of him. Quaffle still might just make it in here.
This would be the comeback drive of the decade right here. Other than maybe...
Yeah, he just shoved Staropoli in 3. Quaffle is taking no prisoners right now.
He can't afford to. Here he is. A little bit into the back bumper of the Doctor right there.
Heave-ho to Staropoli from Quaffle, and if he makes this pass, he'll be +3. The only way he could be knocked out from there is if Jones or Smith were to win the race. But they are 1 second back of Gray. Jones is all over the back of Smith, and JT Jones is trying to make this pass on Sammy Smith right now.
Up the inside, the 20 Menards car goes, and he will try and attempt to clear Sammy Smith. He does. Brandon Jones into second. Quaffle gets into the back of 42. He gets loose. Carson Quaffle attempting to get past. Caution's out. We're going to overtime.
Yellow is out. It's Daniel Dye who's hit the wall. Unbelievable. Oh, dear me.
Now, this is where JGR have a 1-2.
Yep.
What do they do here? One of their guys is going for his first ever win, and one of their guys is going for his first ever Champ 4 appearance. What do you prioritize?
And NASCAR officials have spoken for a number of weeks now about monitoring team radio in these situations. They do not want points to be discussed over the radio, which is absolutely ridiculous to even think that they wouldn't be talking about points on the radio. What are you going to tell Brandon Jones over the radio here? Oh, yeah, just stay second. You have to talk about points on the radio.
Jones needs to win.
He has to, yes.
I just got a flat tire.
Yeah, Dye had a flat tire. Oh, and then he stopped on the track to get the caution. Oh, NASCAR won't like that.
I think he had a bit of contact with Staropoli earlier, a few laps ago. So I don't know if that led to it.
So here's how it looks under this caution. We are heading to overtime. Let me give you this updated look here. It's Love +16, Quaffle +2, Jones -2, Smith -5, Mayer -6, Creed still has to win at -33. And he may still win it. He's in 5th.
I'm a Creed fan. I've given up at this point. I'm sorry, mate. Sorry, Sheldon.
And after what happened here in the spring, it is 4 of the last 7 Xfinity Series races at Martinsville have been decided with a last lap pass for the win. And we have all the makings.
Generous.
We have all the makings of more chaos coming up here as we're going to overtime at Martinsville to decide who joins Connor Zilich and Justin Allgaier to race for a championship next Saturday night in Phoenix. Championship race for the Xfinity Series, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, USRN2 and JBM next Saturday night from the 1 Mile Bull Ring in Phoenix, Arizona. Zilich and Allgaier are already there to run for the title. Who's going to join them? Jesse Love looks good to be there at +16, unless it all falls apart for him in overtime. Really, we're talking about here Quaffle, Jones, Smith, Mayer, and Creed, those 5 going for 1 spot.
Who's your bet on then?
I wouldn't have a clue.
I'm sticking with Love and Quaffle.
Because with Quaffle at +2, he's got a lot of cars still in front of him that he could pass with where he is on the track. My concern is that he may get, I think Smith or Jones may win the race, which would be a disaster for Quaffle. We're coming to the choose this time around. And what will the JGR cars do? Will they line up side by side, or will Jones line up on the bottom right behind Gray? We're going to find out here. Jones is not taking the front row.
Good.
So the front
That's a
row
good move.
Front row is going to be Gray and Smith. And then Jones is going to be inside of 2. Creed is going to be outside of 2. Row 3 is Almirola on the inside, Mayer on the outside. JT, it's all about to be thrown into a blender, which will explode onto the ceiling.
Will we only have one attempt, or will we have more than one? Let's find out. Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray starting side by side. What could go wrong? You've got Brandon Jones behind. Pace truck heads in towards pit road. NASCAR overtime here at Martinsville. Who's in the championship for? Let's find out. Matthew Owens.
Taylor Gray trying to win for the first time, and everyone behind him trying to get to Phoenix. Green flag in the air. Gray gets a great restart. His teammate Jones is behind him. Gray leads to 1. Smith and Jones are side by side for second, but it's Taylor Gray who gets away to the lead. He has no pressure at the back door from now. Smith gets clear to 3rd. Creed and Jones are side by side. Here comes the field off of 4. We reach the white flag. Taylor Gray takes the lead. It's just as it was here in the spring on the last lap. Gray leading, Sammy Smith second. What is Sammy Smith going to do this time when we arrive in turn 3? Here we go. Is he going to take a dive? He does not. He's not close enough. Taylor Gray clears turn 4. He's going to win for the first time in the Xfinity Series at Martinsville. They are 3 and 4 wide further back coming to the line. And we've got to figure out who makes the championship 4. Jesse Love almost certainly will be in. Who else will be? Will it be Quaffle?
I just noticed something. Did you notice that the 41 just turned the 27 after the checker?
Yep, Jeb Burton went around, and it is Quaffle. It's Love and Quaffle that make the championship 4. Quaffle makes it by 4 points over Jones.
That's my boy right there, Taylor. Let's go, mate.
A full circle moment for Taylor Gray, who gets his Martinsville redemption. The 20-year-old from Artesia, New Mexico, is a winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And when we say Martinsville redemption, that doesn't only go back to this series in the spring, it also goes back to the Truck Series 1 year ago. Finally gets the flag. Taylor Gray burns it down with the win. Sammy Smith second, Brandon Jones third, Sheldon Creed fourth. They all come up short in making the championship race.
After the heartbreak of last Martinsville, I would like to say 2 things. Firstly, let's go Taylor. Secondly, huge respect for Sammy for not sending it like last time.
And huge respect for Carson Quaffle for his rally after that spin. He fell back after that spin to 30th. He rallied on the next 2 restarts to finish 18th to make the championship race by 4 points. Gray climbs out of the car through the roof hatch. What an incredible moment for him. And, of course, the thrill of victory for him and Carson Quaffle, and the agony of defeat for the likes of Sammy Smith and Brandon Jones. Ray celebrating with his team on the front straightaway here. What a massive swing of emotions in the final laps of this race. Just what NASCAR wanted when they put the final elimination race of the playoffs here at Martinsville, and I know the playoffs are under so much scrutiny these days, but this is the kind of excitement and drama that NASCAR wanted with this system, and it seems like every year it does produce. Carson Quaffle, what an incredible story. Not going to be full-time in this series next year, but he is going to be with the JRM team. But this year, as a rookie, He's advanced to the championship 4. And for Jesse Love, who started the season out with a win at Daytona, and after just a rubbish night tonight, he advances to the championship 4. Those two will join Connor Zilich and Justin Allgaier. And right now, we join Dylan Welch, speaking with our newest Xfinity Series race winner.
Finally be here in victory lane.
Gosh, about damn time I get me a clock, baby! Woo! Man. Woohoo! Man, I cannot thank everybody on this 54 team. Such an awesome race car. Way faster, way faster. I'm not going to say it than Xfinity Mobile, but just as fast.
I think you just did.
I know. My bad, Xfinity. Man, Jason Ratcliffe, all these guys, the pit crew did an awesome job tonight. Everybody on this group bring awesome race cars to this racetrack and give me an opportunity to race for one every time I come here.
All right, there's maybe no better place on the schedule than Martinsville for Taylor Gray to get his first Xfinity Series win. Kim?
And welcome to the championship for Carson Quapple, but it wasn't for a fight there at the end. Late race spin, you had to battle. Was that some of the hardest racing you've done in your career?
It was probably the most nerve-wracking racing I've done in my career. Obviously, we were sitting in a pretty good spot before we got turned around there, and I thought we were in a good situation to just kind of ride it out and try not to make any enemies and just try to finish the race out. And obviously, once we got turned around there, I'm not sure, it might have been my fault. I really don't know. I haven't seen a replay, but when that happened, I kind of was like, oh, we're done. But yeah, this whole number 1 group really fought hard all race long to give us a opportunity to get to the spot to be in the Final 4, and I just can't thank them enough for that. But like I said, everyone, thank you. Like I said, all the guys brought me a Cars Fest Xfinity Mobile at Martinsville here, and I thought our Bass Pro, Johnny Morris Bass Pro Shops Clarence Chevrolet was on rails all day. It's just that first stage didn't really go the way we wanted it to. I thought we were going to have a little bit better pace than that and bank some stage points, but we weren't able to do that, and we had to do that in stage 2, which put us in a hole for stage 3. But it all worked out, so definitely happy and gonna be really excited going to Phoenix.
What is this team capable of at Phoenix?
Man, I think the sky's the limit for these guys. Obviously, I feel like our season hasn't been the flashiest and the most winning and the most popular, right? But we've been consistent week in and week out, and we come to these racetracks and we might not win, but we only have one DNF the whole season, and we just outpoint the guys and do the best we can on that end of things. But I mean, you never know. It's all comes down to one race, right? At the worst, you have a 25% chance of winning the championship, right? So I like those odds a lot better than being out. But like I said, just can't thank all these guys. Can't thank Dale Jr., Kelly L.W. Miller, everyone at the big shop for what they do to get me in this situation, and just super excited.
Carson Quapple will race for a title next weekend at Phoenix.
He's a blue-collar guy.
Oh, wow. What a way to end it. And the point margin so tight in the NJT. Jones misses by 4, Smith by 5, Mayer by 8, and ultimately Sheldon Creed by 33 points, which really, at the end of this race, was only 4 positions away from him.
Yeah. It's delivering once again here at Martinsville. We're just seeing them cross the line once again. They were really bumping each other in the mid-pack where they were 3 and 4 wide, where those cars were trying to gain those positions. But Taylor Gray, your winner here at Martinsville.
Has to feel awesome for Taylor, Jack. I mean, it's just been such a long road to get to this point. Even though he's only 20, it's been a long, arduous road, especially at this particular racetrack.
Apologies, I was on mute. Absolutely. Just unbelievable. You have no idea. I literally just shouted when I was on the finish. That's my boy. I'm so happy for that guy, man. He's been robbed of 2 Martinsville wins. He's got to be also the only guy I've ever known to flip a late model at Martinsville. Yes, he did that somehow. I don't actually know how that happened. But just unbelievable. I'm so happy for Taylor, man. And there's a clip I might send in a little bit. Justin Allgaier was not happy with his former teammate, Sam Mayer. There's a confrontation after the checkered flag, and Justin looked suitably unimpressed, I will say in my poshest voice.
Well, Mayer was desperate, and Allgaier is already through. So you just things that you have to expect in these situations like this. JT, I think you have to ask the question, or at least I have to ask the question, is there a level of surprise there that Sammy Smith didn't just throw it into turn 3 like he did at Taylor Gray here in the spring?
I mean, yeah, possibly, because, well, he has a history of that, but he thought maybe not the best thing to do, because you don't want to wreck your car, because, well, if he wrecked his car, then he wouldn't have been in a championship 4. So Jesse Love decided to play it safe, and it worked out.
So the championship 4 is set, as we certainly offer our congratulations to Taylor Gray. The championship 4 is set, and the championship race at Phoenix next Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here on USRN2, also here on JBM. A week from now is the race, so 7 days on from the race, guys. I'll start with you, Jack. Is Connor Zilic going to take this after his historic season, or is someone going to upset the 88?
I'm going to go with no surprise here, I'm going to go with Connor Zilic for the championship. I don't really think anybody else can beat him. I think Allgaier is a good shout. Kvopel still hasn't won a race, so I would say no. Jesse Love's not particularly great at Phoenix, so I would also say no. Taylor, you're done with the burnouts, man. For God's sake. Yeah. I'm going with Zilic. It's going to be it's going to be the 88 or the 7. I can't see it being anybody else. But no, I think forget the playoffs though for me tonight. Put the spotlight on a young kid who's done so well to get to this win in Taylor Gray.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is, like you said, just here at this racetrack alone, it has been a year of heartbreak here, and he gets the win. JT, what about you? Who are you going with for this title next Saturday? I think everybody's kind of putting it on Zilic, but he's only ran twice at Phoenix, and earlier this year he was only 16th there. Jesse Love, 3 races at Phoenix with finishes of 2nd, 6th, and 9th, so he's been in the top 10 in all 3 of his Phoenix races. Carson Quaffel's only run there once, of course, but Justin Allgaier, of course, the veteran of all veterans, finished 2nd there to win the championship last year, and he's also won twice at Phoenix. So JT, despite Connor Zilic winning 10 times this year as a rookie, is Justin Allgaier actually the favorite for this title next Saturday night?
I'm going to go with Jesse Love or Justin Allgaier, and I think I've gone for that because we are going to have... Is my mic going to want to play ball at what is 10 past 2 in the morning? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think it's going to be Love or Allgaier because, well, we know how the playoffs race is. We know how the championship 4 can be, and I think there's just going to be some utter chaos, and, well, we get to see how bad the playoff system actually is if Connor Zilic doesn't get it. Let's go down.
I apologize. Our guys were really good today. We did such a great job, and we were in a really good spot. Obviously, it ended up kind of being a must-win, but if things worked out differently, we probably needed to finish 2nd or 3rd at one point. So I was just giving it all I had right there. The 27 did us no favors. Last week, he caused a demolition derby in a parking lot on the front straightaway at the fastest racetrack we go to. And now he just decides to be an absolute dumbass this go-around and race a guy with a purple spoiler, like, just awful. It was awful to be around him all day, and he's just fast enough to be really, really annoying, but not fast enough to do anything else worth a damn. So, sucks to be in that spot around him, but, I mean, the car was as fast as Xfinity Mobile. Everyone in the Haas Factory team, Audibel, Andy's, Roto-Rooter, everyone that's behind me and in my circle, it makes me very it makes me very pleased to be a part of this group, and it just wasn't meant to be. The good Lord blesses us in mysterious ways, and I think that I learned a lot tonight. Probably going to get in trouble for this interview already, but I'm trying to kind of make up for it. But just really proud of everybody, and we're going to go on to Phoenix with one goal in mind, and that's to try to win the race and make something out of what we have now.
We did see Jeb's owner, Jordan Anderson, come over and have a conversation with you. What was that conversation about?
I honestly hate it for Jordan. Jordan is one of the coolest guys in the garage. He's worked his tail off to get to this point, and definitely regret wrecking one of his race cars after competition's over. But Jeb needs a wake-up call. That brother, he does not have the it factor. He has the different factor.
Well, my gut says he'll regret.
I'm trying to work out from that interview, Matthew, whether Jeb Burton's car was as fast as Xfinity Mobile or not as fast as Xfinity Mobile, because he was fast enough to be annoying, but he wasn't fast enough to do anything else. So I don't.
As fast as Xfinity Internet.
I mean, wow, what an interview, huh?
Yeah.
He's the different fact.
Yeah. Well, that was, that was an interview, and Burton moving
Ben
mate.
Schneider disagrees with you. He says the interview was terrible.
It was interesting. It was
entertaining.
Also an interview, so well done, Matthew.
Yeah. So, Championship 4 set at Phoenix, and this is absolutely amazing to think about. Justin Allgaier, the grizzled veteran of the sport, 39 years old, is just about double the age of the other three. Allgaier at 39 years old, Carson Quaffle at 22, Jesse Love at 20, Connor Zilic at 19. Incredible. And Carson Quaffle's the rookie, and he's younger than two of them. We're going to hear from Brandon Jones here.
You guys fought so hard today, and we're in a position there ultimately to maybe get a win out of this deal, but where ultimately did it come apart?
First off, we executed the day really, really well, and I think everybody did their part today, right? I think the pit crew was absolutely awesome, like they typically are. Our plan went perfectly. We got track position early on in the race, and then we were pretty much the top playoff car for the majority of it. So that's really the way that you have to do that, right? And at the end, the whole key and the whole trick was to start behind the 54 and get a great launch, and I just didn't get a great launch. I don't know if that comes down to not quite prepping the tire correctly or getting it ready, but I spun the tire a little bit. Taylor didn't, and he took off. And then at that point, I kind of had to make a decision getting into one. Do I harpoon the kid? Do I not? And I didn't want to wreck myself doing that. I didn't want to put Taylor in that situation either. I mean, he's going for a win as well, and I'm happy for him and proud of him. He's been working hard at it. But yeah, my next line of defense was maybe hoping the 8 was going to get a little more aggressive and try to move him, and then you're in the situation there to take advantage. But all in all, the day until the very last restart, of course, was executed almost flawlessly. So I'm dejected we don't make it, but I'm happy that the guys fought and did everything that they really could. I mean, there was a lot of really late nights on this race car this week to get it ready. So there was not from a lack of effort on anybody's ends, and so happy to be running, and competing for wins, and almost so close to getting in the Final Four for Menards. I wanted that so bad for Menards. I've been wanting that for a very long time for them to get them back in the Final Four in the Xfinity series. And been close, but you look back at the year, right, and it's always going to happen like this. But you have a better Talladega, you have a better Vegas, you're in, right? You don't have to go win. So we'll continue to press forward. We've done so much this year. We made big strides, and we've got one race left to go spoil and try to go win. So thanks to Don Dish, Menards, everybody at Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing for giving us vehicles that can go compete for wins like this and go have fun. It was a big pressure situation at the end. My heart was pounding, but I was having fun and smiling about it.
Thanks, Brandon. Kim?
Well, Dylan, Sammy Smith comes home in the second position, one spot short of the win, which would have locked you into the championship 4 and a run at the title. So as you think about that green and white checker, if given a second shot, would you have done anything differently than what we saw?
I mean, just maybe try to have a better restart. But yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, it sucks not to be able to make the Final Four. I feel like, you know, my team deserves it. We're good enough to be in the Final Four, and just we weren't good enough in the playoffs to do that. So just thank you to Pilot Team, to Allstate, obviously, and just it really sucks. So we'll regroup and just keep digging.
Yeah, you think?
Here's something for you, Matthew, while we have a little bit of a break, which you may be interested in or you may not be interested in. Super late model debut for Keelan Harvick today. He's starting third with Kevin Harvick 5th. Let's go down to Creed.
A little bit short. In a must-win scenario kind of like that for you guys, how do you break down the day you had and ultimately what you needed at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of went along as our day is how we drew it up, just try to keep all the fenders on it and be in the top 5, you know, inside 30, 50 to go. And, yeah, check that box off and was kind of there. But, yeah, ultimately just wasn't as good to place myself maybe where the 8 or the 20 was. They were just a little stronger than we were. So, yeah, I mean, proud of everyone at Haas Factory Team. Thank you to Ford and Roush Yates Engines all year long. All of our partners, Ollie's, Pit Boss, Road Ranger, Friends of Jacqueline, Haas Automation, Gene Haas, Joe Custer. Just really appreciate everyone sticking behind us. And, yeah, to have a shot is cool. But, yeah, I mean, if you're not first, you're last here. So, yeah, a little frustrating that yeah, I just didn't do a good enough job to place myself and just needed a little more there.
Still not a bad day for Creed, but ultimately just not enough. Kim?
And Dylan, Jesse Love makes the championship for the first time. You said, I can't be happy yet, though. Just reflecting on today's race, how would you summarize the day for the two?
Blue collar. I mean, geez, man. What a day we had. Kind of miscalculated our pit road lights, I think, a little bit. Maybe not realizing how much distance you're taking off. And then had some other sort of penalty. So we had no stage points. And on top of that, I don't feel like I'm very good here. And I was battling the handling of our number 2 wheel and Camaro. And definitely we weren't as fast as Xfinity Mobile, but again, you know, our team, we use our heads and we're aware of our surroundings and we're very smart. And obviously, I pride myself in that. I pride Denny Stockman in that, and our whole team, our pit crew, and I'm just proud of the whole organization. Right, getting Austin Hill in the Final Four for the owners, getting myself for the driver Final Four. And I think if you didn't have that penalty, we'd have 2 cars in the Final Four. So for drivers, so definitely a lot to be proud of. Not our finest work today, but just want to thank these people right here at Wheeling for being with us all year, fighting hard with us. And yeah, we're gonna have to go to Phoenix and start focusing on that. Honestly, the words Martinsville won't come out of my mouth until November 3rd, and I won't even think about this race until after Phoenix. But just focused on obviously going there and winning a championship. I was a couple hundred feet from winning that race last year before the caution came out. So I know that I can put myself in the same spot again. I know our team's capable of doing that. And I love Phoenix a heck of a lot more than here. Maybe I got to start eating the hot dogs here. I've never had a Martinsville hot dog, so I think that's my bad luck here.
All right, it sounds like Jesse Love's going to hit the hot dog stand before he leaves tonight.
Yeah, he said it, though. Phoenix.
Well, maybe you need some hot dogs. I don't know. Maybe that'll help. JT? How'd they finish tonight?
I don't know. You tell me. Oh, wait. Let me guess. My mic died again. Let's go through the IAA and Richie.
You're dead again, mate.
Oh, dear.
I'm just going to give up at this point. Taylor Gray in first. Sammy Smith second. Brandon Jones in third. Then Sheldon Creed in 4th, Eric Almirola in 5th, Jeb Burton 6th, Sam Mayer in 7th, Dean Thompson in 8th, then Connor Zillage 9th, Justin Bonsignor in 10th, Harrison Burton in 11th, Austin Hill 12th, Corey Day 13th, Myatt Snyder 14th, Ryan Sieg 15th, but let's go down to Connor Zillage.
For you at the end to at least be able to get a top 10 out of this.
Yeah, it was yeah, we gave it all we had all day long, and 9th is where we came up. So, you know, it was good day. You know, we definitely could have had a better day if I didn't
set us back in practice, but I'm still really proud of my entire WeatherTech Chevrolet team. We rallied back after a roller coaster of a day and finished 9th. So when I had some clean air and had some space, my car was good. We were close to as fast as Xfinity Mobile, maybe not quite as fast, but we were very solid. But next weekend is what counts, and I'm excited to go give it my all and see what we can do.
That's right, on to Phoenix to fight for a championship for the 88. Kim?
And his teammate Justin Allgaier will also fight for a championship next week, but there was a little frustration from you at that green and white checkered flag. Just what happened? What was your point of view?
It started kind of before that, but just a long night. What started out so great ended really poorly, and I said there was going to be no stress coming into this weekend. It was going to be a lot of fun, and the competitor, just took over too much. But I'm really proud of our team, to be out front early, to lead the laps that we did, to win the stage. I thought our Jarrett Logistics Chevy was really good. We struggled a little bit in the long run, and the 7 team never quit. They kept making adjustments, trying to make us better. And, we just weren't there. But the silver lining in all of this is we go to Phoenix next week, and I'm super confident. I told you before the race, we didn't even work on Martinsville at all because we knew we were in for next week. We got a shot at going for an owner and a driver's championship. So I think we've done all the right things. We just got to go, put all the pieces of the puzzle together next week and execute. And if we do that, it's going to be a good day.
Justin Allgaier looks to defend his title next week at Phoenix.
Right, I'm going to try and attempt to do... Okay, okay. Alfredo, Starfoli, Croffle, Sanchez, Perkins, Sieg, Carl Sieg, Ryan Ellis, Jesse Love, Austin Green, Conor Mozak, Justin Allgaier, Christian Eckes, Josh Williams, Parker Retzlaff, Garrett Smithley, Brad Perez, Mason Maggio, Daniel Dye, Jeremy Clements, Brendan Queen, Brennan Paul, Takuma Koga, Thomas Annunziata. Matthew, please save me from this hell, which is a broken microphone, which I have no idea what is going on, and JB is not giving me suggestions to fix it because he is the microphone god. I think I know what the issue is. The only problem is I have to get a new bus mixer, which they're not cheap.
No. Well, we'll go ahead and sign out because it's extremely late for 2 of us in this chat, and for the other one, it's me late. So, again, we congratulate Taylor Gray. He knocks down his first win in NASCAR Xfinity Series competition by winning at Martinsville, and now the championship score is set. Next Saturday night, NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race, USRN2 and JBM at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as Connor Zilic, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, along with Carson Quaffle, goes for the title. We'll see you next Saturday night in Phoenix, but before then, we'll see you tomorrow, NASCAR Cup Series Round of 8 elimination race at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, USRN and JBM. We will see you then for more wild Martinsville drama. Good night from the Paperclip.